Chapter 245. Tang Tang hadn't woken up yet, but her complexion was much better than before. She was still sleeping soundly. According to the elder heaven ancestor, she should be in the process of detoxification. She would be fine once all the toxins in her body were expelled. Xiao Chen was relieved to see that Tang Tang was fine. After leaving Tang Tang's room, Xiao Chen glanced at the time and ran in the direction of the antique street. Today was the school's physical examination day, and Xiao Chen didn't want to waste any time. It didn't matter to him whether it was a physical examination or not. At the same time, in the Little Hong drugstore, the shopkeeper of the Songning branch of the Hong Chamber of Commerce, Qi Mucheng, was standing respectfully in front of Hong Zhu. "Miss Zhu, this is what you asked me to investigate." As he spoke, Tai Mucheng handed a stack of papers to Hong Zhu. "Thank you for your hard work, Uncle Tai." Hong Zhu nodded, took the papers, and looked through them carefully. If Xiao Chen was here, he would definitely be very surprised, because the content of the information was actually about Xiao Chen. It could be said that all the information about Xiao Chen from his birth to the present was on it. However, Hong Zhu was a little disappointed when she finished looking through it. The information was basically the same as what she had seen before. There was nothing useful at all. It was written that Xiao Chen was a good-for-nothing, but was the Xiao Chen she knew a good-for-nothing? Seeing Hong Zhu frown, Tai Mucheng's heart suddenly tightened. "Miss Zhu, is there something wrong? Uncle Tai, is there any more in-depth information? For example, what did Xiao Chen do every day? What happened? Can you find someone to find out?" Hong Zhu asked. "Yes, but only in the near future," Tai Mucheng said. Tai Mucheng said, "We won't be able to find out anything further than that. At most, we can find out what happened after Xiao Chen was chased out of the Xiao clan." "That's fine too." Hong Zhu nodded. Suddenly, his expression changed. He looked at Gu Mucheng with some seriousness and said, "Gu Mucheng, are you the person in charge of the Hongning Group's Songning branch?" Tai Mucheng was taken aback at first, because Hong Zhu had addressed him as Uncle Tai before this. Even if Hong Zhu's status was there, he, Tai Mucheng, was also an elder of the Hong clan. As a junior, Hong Zhu could not directly address him by his name. This was the most basic form of respect and politeness. However, even though Tai Mucheng was a little uncomfortable, he did not voice it out. However, when he heard the latter half of Hong Zhu's words, his heart immediately shivered. The Hongning Group was the most mysterious organization in the Hong Clan Merchant Association. It was similar to an intelligence organization and a supervisory organization. The intelligence organization was responsible for gathering information on cultivators from all over the world and sending it to the headquarters of the Hong clan. For example, where a peerless genius had appeared, or where a new family had risen, these were all things that the Hong family needed to know. As the largest merchant association that supplied cultivation materials, the Hong family had been able to stand tall for thousands of years because they had their own capabilities. Secretly befriending newcomers and families with potential was an important job. Back then, if it was not for the fact that Hong Zhong, who was currently in charge of this branch of the Hong clan, had befriended a newcomer with potential, the Hong family would have truly become history. However, Hong Zhong had relied on their friendship to invite that newcomer, who had already become the number one in the world, to help out. Only then were the difficulties resolved. Therefore, befriending newcomers with potential also became part of the training of the Hong Clan Merchant Association. The Hongning Group was in charge of this mission. As for the supervisory duty, it was to monitor the accounts of the Hong Clan Merchant Association and prevent anyone from stuffing their own pockets. Usually, only one shopkeeper would be selected by the Hongning Group out of many branches. This person was undoubtedly the most loyal to the Hong clan. Only those who were loyal to the Hong clan were qualified for this responsibility. In fact, Tai Mucheng had known about Hong Zhu stuffing his own pockets previously, but he had cooperated. This was actually because of his loyalty to the Hong clan. Hong Zhu was this generation's direct descendant of the Hong clan. Treating her was equivalent to treating the Hong clan. Therefore, Tai Muching had not reported this matter to the higher-ups. However, now that Hong Zhu had pointed out his identity, Tai Muching was extremely shocked. Apart from the current chairman of the Hong Clan Merchant Association, who was also the head of the Hong family, only the leader of the Hong Ying group, Hong Ying, knew about this identity. Even the members of Hong Ying's team didn't know. They only got in touch with Hong Ying through special channels. Moreover, these people rarely saw Hong Ying's real face. They only knew that Hong Ying was an outstanding descendant of the Hong family that the president had specially nurtured all these years. However, it was a little strange that Hong Zhu knew about this matter. Although Tai Muching also knew that Hong Yen and Hong Zhu were the granddaughters that the chairman doted on the most, there were not many descendants of the Hong clan who were allowed to enter and leave the secular city. Hong Yen and Hong Zhu were exceptions. I know about the matter of the shopkeeper of the Boundless Province branch secretly colluding with the supplier, Hong Zhu said indifferently. Continue to collect evidence. Tai Muching, you've done well. Ah. Tai Muching was completely stunned. His entire body trembled, then he immediately knelt on one knee and said respectfully, "Subordinate Tai Muching greets Hong Ying." Get up." Hong Zhu waved his hand. "In front of outsiders, you are still Uncle Tai. This subordinate understands." This time, Tai Muching did not have the slightest bit of dissatisfaction. Regardless of whether Hong Zhu was his backer or not, he was Hong Ying, which meant that he was his immediate superior. When it came to Hong Ying, all of them were extremely respectful. "Xiao Chen, list him as an important person to befriend and observe," Hong Zhu said to Tai Muching as he placed the information in his hands on the table. "Yes." Tai Muching was a little puzzled. What did this Xiao Chen do to deserve this? Previously, he had thought that it was already very impressive for him to attract Miss Zhu's attention. He had not expected that he had attracted Hong Ying's attention instead. Furthermore, being listed as an important person to befriend and observe meant that the treatment that Xiao Chen enjoyed in the Warrior Guild and the Warrior City Square would immediately be upgraded to a VIP member. Of course, this also needed to be done step by step and at the right time. If he suddenly went to Xiao Chen and said, "I am Chi Muching, the shopkeeper of the Songning branch of the Hong Chamber of Commerce, I will give you a VIP membership card," then, Xiao Chen would definitely think that he was either crazy or a swindler, or that he was plotting something. Do as you see fit. Hong Zhu suddenly recalled that Xiao Chen had been humiliated by Chen Iodophor when he was buying medicine. He suddenly asked, "What about this Chen Iodophor?" "Chen Iodophor?" Chi Muching was stunned for a moment before he remembered who it was. If he had not been investigating Xiao Chen recently, he would not have paid attention to who Chen Iodophor was. This person is the son-in-law of the Sun family in a neighboring city. However, I heard that he had contracted horse stroke and died last night. Although it was a little inelegant to say that he was on horseback to Miss Zhu, Tai Muching recalled that Hong Zhu's other identity was Hong Ying, so he didn't mind it at all. He had also handed over the photos of some of the suppliers who had been caught bribing the branch managers to Hong Ying. He reckoned that Hong Ying had already gotten used to it. Horse stroke, huh? What a strange way to die. Hong Zhu was stunned. She had long known that Chen Iodophor was going to die, but she did not know exactly how he had died. Now that she heard Chi Muching say this, she felt that it was rather strange. Speaking of which, it is strange. 3 people from the Sun family have already died, and they were all killed by horse stroke. After paying attention to Chen Iodophor, Tai Muching also paid attention to the Sun family. This was already a habit of his after so many years of intelligence work. Oh? 3 people died? This thing is contagious? Hong Zhu was even more surprised. What happened? Can you tell me? Yes. Tai Muching nodded, cleared his throat, and told Hong Zhu about what had happened to the Sun family during this period of time. That's strange. Then you should investigate how these 3 people died. This is the first time I've heard that horse stroke can be contagious. It's most likely that someone did something underhanded. Hong Zhu said, it can actually cause people to die by horse stroke. How awesome! Which demonic sex technique is this? Yes, this subordinate understands. Tai Muching responded. Alright, you can go back. This Sun family is too unlucky. Don't do business with them in the future. Hong Zhu's casual words had caused the Sun family to die. Alright, I'll go back and pass down the instructions. Tai Muching nodded. If Hong Zhu had spoken to Tai Muching with her identity as Miss Zhu, Tai Muching would definitely not have agreed. However, under the circumstances that it did not violate her choice, Tai Muching would not object to letting Hong Zhu earn some money. After all, it would not harm the interests of the warrior guild. Regardless of whether it was stolen goods or not, the value of the goods was there, and the warrior guild would not suffer a loss. However, stopping suppliers from supplying goods involved their interests. Even if Hong Zhu was a member of the Hong family, it would not be allowed. Because she could not represent the Hong family. However, Hong Ying was different. Actually, everyone understood that the core figure of the Hong family was President Hong. Although the other vice presidents were also very powerful and impressive, the one with the most authority was none other than Hong Ying, the head of intelligence who had the power to monitor life and death. Hong Ying had spoken. That was, there was a problem with the supplier, and Tai Muching had to carry it out unconditionally. After sending Tai Muching off, Hong Zhu yawned and returned to her previous lazy and seductive appearance. She supported her chin with one hand and read a book in boredom. Xiao Chen, oh, Xiao Chen, you've really hidden yourself well. I didn't find anything even after investigating you again. Which sect are you a disciple of? Chen Iafu's horse stroke, don't tell me you're the one who caused it. Previously, Hong Zhu did not suspect anything. She only thought that Xiao Chen could see the black aura on Chen Iafu's forehead like her. However, ever since she found out about the conflict between Xiao Chen and Chen Iafu at the entrance of the warriors' market, Hong Zhu suspected that it might be that brat Xiao Chen's doing. Otherwise, with Xiao Chen's strength, would he be able to tolerate being stepped on like that without retaliating? She then thought about what Xiao Chen said last night. He mocked Chen Iafu for being very useful, but he also told him to be careful and that he might die if he used it too much. Chapter 246. At first, Hong Zhu thought it was a joke because she couldn't tell how Chen Iotafor would die, but Xiao Chen knew. Even if Xiao Chen could see the black gas, he couldn't predict it so accurately. Therefore, this guy was the biggest suspect. You are my little Hong Zhu, no matter how smart you are, it's never too much. Hong Zhu found that she had sorted out some of the clues and happily hummed a little song. She found that she was really more and more interested in Xiao Chen. Originally, the purpose of coming here was very simple, but now, she seemed to be able to discover more things. Xiao Chen ran to the antique street. Not only were there all kinds of antiques, but there were also all kinds of jade wares for sale. Generally, precious jade wares wouldn't be sold in bulk at the counter of the shopping mall. They were all sold here as treasures. The antique street opened very early. It was the custom of Songning City to open early and close early. Every antique market had its own customs, and some places liked to have night markets. Xiao Chen walked from shop to shop. There were many antiques here. Although there were also jade wares in antique shops, there were very few that Xiao Chen needed. In addition, although some of the jade wares were well made, they were actually fakes. They could deceive people who didn't know the industry, but Xiao Chen just touched them casually and stopped looking. There was no spiritual energy in them. This kind of goods, even if it was the real one, Xiao Chen wouldn't need it, not to mention it was fake. Although the spiritual energy in the real jade wares was extremely low, Xiao Chen could still feel it. However, there was no trace of fake jade wares. There were a few jade shops on the antique street, but after Xiao Chen went in, he didn't see any jade wares that he liked. Sure enough, as the elder heaven ancestor said, it was really difficult to find jade full of spiritual energy, let alone ordinary jade wares. This was the last jade artifact shop. Xiao Chen walked out with some disappointment. These jade artifacts were not spirit jades. At the very least, they were not spirit jades on display at the moment. It seems that I have to go to more advanced places in the future, Xiao Chen thought. As he was about to leave, Xiao Chen suddenly felt someone patting him from behind. He looked back and saw a middle-aged man with a somewhat shrewd appearance. What's the matter? Xiao Chen looked at the person in front of him. He didn't know the person in front of him. Little brother, do you want to buy jade? The shrewd man asked in a low voice. How do you know? Xiao Chen frowned and asked. Little brother, I've been observing you for a long time. You obviously didn't come here to look at the jade wares. You don't have the patience to look at the jade wares. So, you must want to buy it, but you haven't found the one you like. Am I right? The shrewd man saw these customers very accurately and hit the nail on the head. You're right, but who are you? Xiao Chen looked at the man and asked with some vigilance. You can call me Old Wu. I'm the owner of the Zhenzhen boutique over there. The shrewd man was the owner of the Zhenzhen boutique, Wang Wei. However, Wang Wei was his name in secret. In this antique street, his identity was Old Wu. Zhenzhen boutique? Xiao Chen glanced at the direction that Wang Wei was pointing at and suddenly lost interest. He turned around and was about to leave. Hey, little brother, don't go. Wang Wei grabbed Xiao Chen. What? Don't you know what kind of goods you have? I don't beat around the bush. I've been to so many shops. Do you think I'm a rookie who doesn't know anything? Xiao Chen rolled his eyes. Most of the jade wares in this Zhenzhen boutique were fake. There was no spiritual qi in them. They might be able to fool others, but not Xiao Chen. Huh, I told you, little brother, you know your stuff. When Wang Wei heard Xiao Chen's words, he didn't get angry. Instead, he laughed. I can't fool you. Little brother, you look like an expert. How can I fool you? Oh. Xiao Chen stopped. You have good stuff? I definitely have good stuff, but it depends on whether little brother dares to take it. Wang Wei said mysteriously. What do you mean? Is there a problem with the source? Xiao Chen suddenly thought of this situation because he had just robbed the Sun family's cart of medicinal herbs. It's from a tomb raider. Wang Wei lowered his voice. Can I take a look? Lead the way. Xiao Chen nodded immediately. Wang Wei was very good at reading people. He knew clearly who really wanted to buy things and who was pretending. In his opinion, Xiao Chen was a customer who really knew his stuff. It just so happened that Wang Wei had a few pieces of good stuff in his hands. However, they were antiques from tomb raiding, so it wasn't easy to sell them. He could only sell them to people who really wanted them and knew their stuff. After entering Zhenzhen boutique, Wang Wei brought Xiao Chen to a private room upstairs. Then, he poured a cup of tea for Xiao Chen and said, Little brother, wait a moment. I'll go get it. Xiao Chen nodded. He picked up the teacup and sniffed it. He asked in his heart, Elder Heaven Ancestor, is there a problem with this tea? I don't think there's a problem. Why don't you try it? Elder Heaven Ancestor said. Forget it. Hearing Elder Heaven Ancestor's tone, he wasn't sure, so Xiao Chen didn't want to take the risk. However, after a while, Wang Wei came back with a small box in his hand. He placed it directly on the coffee table in front of Xiao Chen, opened it, and said, Little brother, please have a look. Wang Wei was also a martial artist, so he wasn't worried that someone would rob him. After all, in the secular world, the frequency of martial artists appearing was still very low. Only in the martial artists' own circle would you often see martial artists. This was actually the same reason why the rich were surrounded by rich people. It was undeniable that the box was filled with good stuff. Just from the appearance, one could tell that it wasn't ordinary. Xiaofan reached out and scanned the jade in the box one by one. Finally, his eyes stopped on a jade ring. Spiritual jade. Xiaofan's heart was about to jump out at this moment. This was definitely a spiritual jade. Although the spiritual energy inside was not as high as the jade, it was already very good. Xiaofan didn't hide the fact that he wanted to buy which one he didn't want to buy. After all, everyone who could sit here and look at the goods was a sensible person. Xiaofan directly picked up the jade thumb ring and played with it in his hand. Little brother, you have good eyesight. This jade ring, according to legend, was used by the first assistant minister of the X dynasty and the first warrior, X-Bai. Wang Wei began to explain, this jade ring is quite difficult to get. It is said that this jade ring has the effect of aiding martial arts. Alright, don't say so much useless stuff. Everyone here is smart. Legends and whatnot are not important. What I'm looking at is the quality. Xiaofan waved his hand impatiently and interrupted Wang Wei's words. An item used by a dead person is extremely unlucky, and you still think it's a good thing. How much is it? Name a price. This, 5 million. Wang Wei stretched out 5 fingers. 5 million? Xiaofan frowned. To be honest, 5 million was not a lot. Not only was it not a lot, but it was also extremely cheap. However, it also depended on how they were compared. Don't think that Xiaofan was just a playboy in the past, but he had also followed Chen Jinpeng to the Azure Sea Heavenly Palace before. An antique jade thumb ring was only worth 30 to 50,000, how could it be 5 million? Of course, if he bought it according to the spiritual jade, it would not be expensive. A set of medicinal herbs cost 3 million. A spiritual jade was only worth 5 million. It was really very cheap. Little brother, you are also an expert. You can tell that this is the real thing, right? Wang Wei looked at Xiaofan's expression and said with some uncertainty. The real thing? Shame on you. Do you think I'm a big shot? Xiaofan slammed the jade ring on the coffee table. He was not afraid of breaking it. He sneered and said, a jade ring is worth 30 to 50,000. This 5 million is 100 times more. Is it gold-rimmed or imported from Mars? Wang Wei smiled bitterly. He knew that he had met an expert. He could only explain, an ordinary jade ring is naturally only worth 30 to 50,000. However, look at the jade rings used by ancient emperors. There are even those that are sold for tens of millions. This was used by a minister. 5 million is not a high price, right? Do you have an appraisal report? Do you have an expert to verify it? Do you think I will believe you just because you tell me? Buying illegal goods is just a gamble. I can buy it at an auction with this price. Xiaofan waved his hand and said, I'll give you 1 million. Sell it or not. This, 2 million. Little brother, isn't your bargaining a bit too much? Wang Wei smiled bitterly. Then keep it. Xiaofan stood up and prepared to leave. Alright, I'll give it to you. In fact, in Wang Wei's opinion, 1 million was not a small amount. Illegal goods should not be exposed to the public. If it could be sold, it would be a profit. Some things should not be displayed casually and could not be appraised. Don't think that there were no fakes in ancient tombs. There were fakes in ancient times. Xiaofan swiped an anonymous bank card. After swiping, he took the jade ring and prepared to leave. Wait, little brother. Wang Wei thought for a moment and stopped Xiaofan. Is there anything else? Xiaofan asked. Little brother, do you like jade rings? If I have something similar, do you still want it? Wang Wei asked. Not necessarily. It depends on the color. Xiaofan did not buy everything. It had to contain spiritual energy. It was not enough just because it looked the same. Help me keep an eye out for it. I will come back after a while. However, it doesn't have to be a jade ring. Any kind of jade is fine, but it's best if it was used by ancient masters. For example, this jade ring from the first warrior. Alright, I understand. Little brother, it turns out that you like to collect things that people used. Wang Wei nodded his head confidently. Xiaofan did not stay for long. He quickly left the antique street and planned to go home to cultivate. Anyway, the school's physical examination might not end in the morning. He had to hurry up. Who knew when the Witch of West Mountain would appear? After running back to the villa, Xiaofan locked himself in his room. He picked up the jade ring and began to cultivate. At the school, the physical examination had also begun. Yu Xiaochuan hid in the blood collection room excitedly and stared at the results of each test sheet. He was full of anticipation. Chapter 247. In order to see the test results as soon as possible, Yu Xiaochuan arranged for the girls to have their blood tested first, while the boys went to check other items first. The morning passed quickly, and most of the girls had been checked. There was only one fat girl who looked terrible. Yu Xiaochuan slapped his forehead. Damn it, please don't let it be this one. But in his heart, he was hoping that it would be her. Anyway, he could get rid of her after using her for a while. It didn't matter if she was a little fat. As long as it wasn't Jean Bebe. If it was Jean Bebe, it would be really difficult for him. If he married her, his life would be ruined. Moreover, he couldn't get rid of her easily. It would be better to castrate himself. However, the fat girl's result was also not her, which made Yu Xiaochuan very disappointed. As expected, women with mysterious body were not so common. Not to mention a school, they might not even be found in a city. Although Yu Xiaochuan was not surprised by the result, it was still a headache to find the next step. Yu Xiaochuan didn't care about the physical examination in the afternoon. He paid the money and left the hospital. Director Su was a little confused about Yu Xiaochuan's behavior of paying the money but not having a physical examination. However, Yu Xiaochuan was so rich that he must have finished the physical examination in advance, so he didn't have to wait in line with others. Since he had nothing to do, Yu Xiaochuan planned to go to the warrior guild to see if there was any news about the woman with mysterious body. In the warrior guild, Yu Xiaochuan was familiar with medicine master Sunday. Yu Xiaochuan had asked him to make medicinal materials before, so he was an acquaintance. He had called him once because of Tang Tang. Therefore, Yu Xiaochuan went directly to medicine master Sun's office. Young Master Sun, you're here. Medicine Master Sun respected Yu Xiaochuan. After all, even if the Sun family became an aristocratic family, they had to maintain a good relationship with other aristocratic families. Now they had become enemies with the Chao family and the Chen family. Although Xiao Chun was no longer a member of the Xiao family, it was not very likely for him to be on good terms with the Xiao family. Yu Xiaochuan was known as the leader of the young generation and a gentleman. It would be beneficial for the Sun family's development in the future to make friends with him. Therefore, Medicine Master Sun stood up and greeted him. Huh, Medicine Master Sun, you're too kind. I'm just here to take a look. Please have a seat. Yu Xiaochuan was flattered by Medicine Master Sun's politeness. It should be known that an apothecary was very important to a clan. Although the elixirs used by cultivators could be bought in the warriors' city square, they were all general-purpose medicinal herbs. With an apothecary, they could make different adjustments to different cultivators, making the elixirs more suitable for their own needs. This was also what the Sun family cultivated later on. The members of the Sun family also stepped into the ranks of martial artists to varying degrees. It was all because Medicine Master Sun concocted spirit herbs for them to temper their bodies and cultivate. Young Master Kun, are you here for Tang Tang? Medicine Master Sun thought about it and felt that he had to give Xiaochuan some face. However, he was not willing to treat Xiao Chen's girlfriend. That Xiao Chen had a grudge against the Sun family. Oh, that? Forget about it. Xiaochuan waved his hand and said, I came here because I have something else to do. What is it? Tell me, young Master Kun. I'll see if I can help. Medicine Master Sun breathed a sigh of relief. As long as he did not have to treat Tang Tang and bow down to Xiao Chen, everything else would be fine. Well, I wonder if Medicine Master Sun has heard of Mysterious Een Woman? Xiaochuan asked. Mysterious Een Woman? A woman with mysterious Een body? Medicine Master Sun was slightly stunned and said, Young Master Kun, why are you asking about this? Although women with mysterious Een body are rare, they are of no use to us martial artists. Moreover, women with this body are usually unlucky. Unless the man is tough, no one will touch this kind of woman. Oh, I'm just curious and want to find out. Xiaochuan did not care about unlucky things. Once he mastered the Chrysanthemum treasure book, he would be invincible in the world. Bad luck would not matter. Women with this kind of body are hard to find. I'm afraid I can't help you with this. Medicine Master Sun shook his head. This was beyond his ability. Oh. Xiaochuan was a little disappointed and then said, by the way, you're a medicine master, so you should know the art of medicine. Say, if I want to test the blood of some women, what's the best reason to look for them? Moreover, they won't be easily detected. Xiaochuan did not hide any of this. Even if he were to look for the Lady of Mysterious Een, no one would suspect anything. Just like the current Medicine Master Sun, he could not link it to the Chrysanthemum treasured book. Even if Grandfather Tang found out, he would not link it to this. Blood test? This. Young Master Kun, I'm not good at scheming. Medicine Master Sun thought for a moment and said, if you don't mind, I can introduce you to someone from the streets. This person has some intelligence. You can ask him. Alright, thank you. Xiaochuan nodded. Medicine Master Sun picked up the phone and dialed a number. After a while, Red Hair walked in. When he saw Medicine Master Sun, he said respectfully, Master. Medicine Master Sun had already accepted Red Hair as an in-name disciple. Red Hair, since you have nothing to do now, follow young Master Kun for a few days. Young Master Kun needs someone with intelligence, and I think you can do it. Thank you for your recommendation, Master. Red Hair will definitely do his best to assist young Master Kun. Red Hair was overjoyed. He had just lost his job and thought that he had no future. He could no longer live such a good life, and he had to return to the street to live the life of a gangster. That was really miserable. If there was no comparison, Red Hair felt that his previous life was already very free and easy. He often extorted hawkers and earned some money, but compared to now, it was really child's play. Following young Master Jean and young Master Qin, not only did he have good food and drinks, but he also had women to play with, and they were all top-grade women. Unexpectedly, another young master came and accepted him as a follower. It was really not bad. Your name is Red Hair? Xiaochuan looked at Red Hair and asked. Young Master Kun, my name is Lu Lizao. Red Hair is my nickname. You can call me Red Hair. Red Hair nodded. Lu Lizao, this name of yours is really F***ed up. Xiaochuan nodded and said, okay, let me ask you. You said that I want to test the blood of some women. What is the best excuse to find them? And it's not easy to detect? Let me think about it. Red Hair was stunned. He didn't expect Xiaochuan to ask such a question. However, in order to make Xiaochuan value him, he had to answer even the most inexplicable question, and he had to do his best to answer. Therefore, he thought carefully for a long time. Finally, he patted his head and said, young Master Kun, I have one. Pfft. You have one? What do you have? Yu Xiaochuan was stunned by Red Hair's words. He almost spat it out. Have a child? I have an idea. Red Hair sweated. Then why aren't you saying it? Yu Xiaochuan asked. Okay, young Master Kun. Let's do it this way. You see, many girls nowadays like to pursue fame and fortune. Otherwise, why would those talent shows be so popular every time? Why would so many girls sign up for the audition? Red Hair said proudly, when the time comes, we can test their blood. This is reasonable. You mean that I should also organize such an event and then test their blood? What reason should I use? Also, what benefits can the first prize winner get from this event? Yu Xiaochuan's eyes lit up after listening. Yes, we can plan an event. With young Master Kun's ability, it shouldn't be difficult, right? Although I still don't know young Master Kun's background, those who can befriend Master are all high-level and powerful people. Red Hair said, as for the blood test, it's very simple. Many women are very impetuous nowadays. They are promiscuous in private and use drugs. We just need to check if they have AIDS or drugs. Such people can't participate in the competition. As for the reward, young Master Kun, you can do whatever you want. Young Master Kun's family should have a family business, right? When the time comes, you can give her an endorsement contract with the family business. It's worth tens of millions. Young Master Kun should have this money, right? You're not bad. Yu Xiaochuan nodded. Your idea is very feasible. Follow me from now on. You will be fully in charge of this event. When the time comes, help me with the audition. Okay, no problem. Red Hair was overjoyed. Yu Xiaochuan's words meant that he accepted him. Moreover, Yu Xiaochuan agreed to his suggestion without thinking. Then the Yu family's capital should be quite strong. Wait, Yu family? Could it be the aristocratic Yu family? Thinking of this, Red Hair subconsciously said, young Master Kun, you are the Yu families. Yes, I am Yu Xiaochuan from the Yu family. Yu Xiaochuan nodded. Ah, so it really is. Young Master Kun, don't worry. I will do my best to assist you. Red Hair said as he patted his chest. As they were talking, the phone on Medicine Master Sun's table suddenly rang. Medicine Master Sun picked up the phone and only said one sentence. His expression instantly changed. What? Chen Wuxian called and wants our Sun family to give them an explanation? Medicine Master Sun frowned. This phone call was from Sun Xiaonong. He quickly said, all right, wait for me, uncle. I will be back immediately. With that, Medicine Master Sun said to Yu Xiaochuan and Red Hair, I have something to do, so I will leave first. Both of you can go back too. All right, Medicine Master Sun, I won't disturb you anymore. Seeing Medicine Master Sun's expression, Yu Xiaochuan knew that he probably had something important to do. The three of them left the warriors' market together and parted ways at the entrance. Red Hair followed Yu Xiaochuan to his Audi A6L. Young Master Kun, what should I do? Red Hair asked after getting in the car. I will give you a test standard. Find the person with the most values in her blood and predetermine her as first place, Yu Xiaochuan said. Chapter 248. Alright, no problem. The red-haired man quickly nodded. Young Master Kun, are you looking for some unspoken rules? Yu Xiaochuan nodded. This was also considered an unspoken rule. He didn't intend to explain too much to the red-haired man. When the time came, he would just draw some blood and then have intercourse with it. It wouldn't be an exaggeration to say that it was an unspoken rule. Alright then. What about drug addiction and STDs? Do you need to test them one by one? The red-haired man asked. Testing those also needs to be done separately. It will take some time. There's no need for that. It's just a formality. I'm mainly looking for women with such numbers. Xiaofan waved his hand. Alright, then I'll start tomorrow? The red-haired man asked. Sure, do it as soon as possible. Xiaofan nodded. Martial God Chen was actually just a warning to the Sun family that they had gone overboard. They shouldn't think that they could do whatever they wanted with the support of a pharmacist. The Chen family wasn't to be trifled with. If anything really happened to Chen Jinpeng, it would be a fight to the death. The Chen family's backup plan was actually in the warrior guild. After Chen Huanling arrived at the warrior guild today, he went to the warrior market to visit the shopkeeper, Tai Mucheng. Although the warrior market was built in cooperation between the warrior guild and the Hong family's commerce, only the president of the warrior guild and the shopkeeper could participate in the management. The vice president didn't have the right to interfere with the operation of the warrior market. Chen Huanling came here to discuss with Tai Mucheng, hoping that Tai Mucheng would give him some face. Shopkeeper Tai, I've been in this position for so long, but I haven't visited you yet. I'm sorry for my lack of manners. Didn't I find an opportunity to come? Chen Huanling's arrival surprised Tai Mucheng. Usually, the vice president and the warrior market rarely interacted. The purpose was to avoid arousing suspicion. After all, this wasn't within their jurisdiction. Only the president could interfere. President Chen, what a rare guest. I wonder what advice you have for me. Tai Mucheng said politely. Although they weren't subordinates, they were colleagues. He had to give Tai Mucheng some face. As for Chen Huanling, apart from Chen Jinkuan's death, it seemed that the Chen family's development was not bad. Especially the marriage with the Shen family, it would increase the Chen family's status once again. It might even become the #1 aristocratic family in Songning in the future. Therefore, the Chen family was also on Hong Ying's list. Tai Mucheng was also in charge of contacting them. How would I dare to guide you? Shopkeeper Tai should be the one guiding me. Chen Huanling smiled and said, since it's like this, I won't beat around the bush. I'll get straight to the point. I came here because I have a request for Manager Tai. Oh? What's the matter? Tai Mucheng asked curiously. He didn't think that the Chen family would ask him for anything. With Tai Mucheng's high-level membership card, there was no need for Tai Mucheng to interfere at all. It's like this. I heard that the Warriors Market Square is doing business with the Sun family of the neighboring city. Chen Huanling probed. That's right, there is such a matter. What do you mean, President Chen? Tai Mucheng asked calmly. This Sun family has a low moral character. They started off by swindling people. I hope that shopkeeper Tai won't do business with them. These people have no bottom line. Who knows if they will scam shopkeeper Tai? At this point, Chen Huanling paused for a moment and said, of course, I said so much because the Sun family and our Chen family have a grudge. I hope that shopkeeper Tai can give me some face. Chen Huanling's previous words were actually nothing more than fabrications. Although the Sun family had a low moral character, they wouldn't dare to swindle the Warriors Market. They didn't have the guts to do so either. He only said all this to give Tai Mucheng a reason to get rid of the Sun family. Is that so? Tai Mucheng pretended to ponder. Actually, Tai Mucheng wouldn't agree so easily under normal circumstances. Even if the Chen family was one of the clans that he wanted to befriend, he still needed Hong Ying's final approval before he could make a decision. However, Hong Zhu had long since planned to get rid of the Sun family. Agreeing to Chen Huanling's request was just a small favor. After a while, he raised his head and said, it's rare for President Chen to ask, so I'll give you some face. Thank you, shopkeeper Tai. Chen Huanling originally thought that he would have to spend a lot of time persuading Tai Mucheng. Who would have thought that it would be settled with just a few words? Didn't they say that Tai Mucheng was selfless and wouldn't easily violate his principles? How come this time, no matter what, it was good that he agreed. Chen Huanling owed Tai Muching a favor. Since Chen Huanling's goal was achieved, he didn't stay any longer. Then, I'll take my leave, shopkeeper Tai. All right. Take care, President Chen. Tai Muching nodded and dialed Medicine Master Sun's number. Who is it? Spit it out if you have something to say. Medicine Master Sun was in a hurry to drive back, so he used Bluetooth to answer the call. He didn't look at the caller ID and asked impatiently. I'm Tai Muching. Tai Muching frowned and said plainly. This Medicine Master Sun was getting more and more arrogant and despotic. If it wasn't for the fact that Medicine Master Gu was the only one left in the warrior's market, Tai Muching really wouldn't want to use him. Ah, shopkeeper Tai. Medicine Master Sun was shocked. He quickly stopped his car by the roadside and almost crashed into an electric pole. The Sun family's medicinal herbs are not up to standard. Don't bring them in again in the future. Tai Muching wanted to explain, but seeing Medicine Master Sun's attitude, he couldn't be bothered to explain anymore. Medicine Master Sun was stunned. The Sun family's supplier status was revoked? How was that possible? Medicine Master Sun had put in a lot of effort to obtain this qualification. In the end, Tai Muching's words made it disappear. Could it be because of his disrespect just now? Thinking of this, Medicine Master Sun quickly said, I'm sorry, shopkeeper Tai. I was driving just now and didn't know it was you calling. About the Sun family's medicinal herbs, the headquarters sent someone to do a spot check. The Sun family's medicinal herbs are not up to standard. Do you understand what I mean? Tai Muching said. I understand. Medicine Master Sun felt sad. Spot check by the headquarters? That was really bad luck. Not only that, the Sun family would probably be blacklisted by the entire warriors market. As for whether Tai Muching was spouting nonsense, it would be fine as long as they went to other warriors market to provide the bidding documents. If they were rejected directly, they would be blacklisted. Therefore, Tai Muching wouldn't lie to him about this. This made Medicine Master Sun feel like he had fallen into an ice cellar. However, when he came back to his senses, he quickly started his car and sped toward the Sun family. This news was much more serious than Marshal God Chen asking for an explanation from the Sun family. To put it bluntly, the Sun family would be finished in the future. Medicine Master Sun hurried back to the Sun family and went straight to the meeting room. At this moment, the Sun family was already seated. When Sun Xiaonong saw Medicine Master Sun, he said, "You Kai, this Chen family is too despicable. They can rob our medicinal herbs, but they want us to give an explanation when we dealt with Chen Jinpeng? Isn't this too much? Even the vice president of the Warriors Guild can't do this, right? Uncle, don't say any more. Let's put this matter aside for now." Something big happened at the Warriors Market. Medicine Master Sun waved his hand and said. What do you mean? What happened? Sun Xiaonong was stunned and asked. Shopkeeper Tai of the Warriors Market just informed me that the Sun family supplier qualification has been cancelled. They said that our goods did not pass the spot check by the headquarters. Medicine Master Sun helplessly repeated Tai Muching's words to Sun Xiaonong. How could it be so coincidental? Our medicinal herbs are not particularly bad, just a little worse than the Xie families. How could it be such a coincidence that the people from the headquarters came to do a spot check at this time? Sun Xiaonong was shocked. He stood up and cried out involuntarily. I'm also a little puzzled, but now that things have happened, we should think of a way. Medicine Master Sun said, I guess our Sun family will be blacklisted by the National Warriors Market. If we want to do business in the Warriors Market, it will be basically impossible. Could it be Chen Huanling? Sun Xiaonong suddenly said, only he has a grudge against our Sun family. Yesterday, we just dealt with Chen Jinpeng, and today, our supplier qualification to the warriors' market was cancelled. Isn't this too coincidental? Indeed. Medicine Master's son nodded after listening. Uncle, if you didn't say it, I really wouldn't have thought that Chen Huanling wanted to mess with us. It's not difficult to apply for a spot check from the headquarters through Tai Mucheng. This is equivalent to killing our Sun family. There's no need to think about it. It must be. Sun Xiaonong said hatefully, although our medicinal herbs are worse than the Sun family's, the Xia family's medicinal herbs are not completely qualified. Many of them are not up to standard. Why is it that only our Xia family was cancelled, but the Sun family was not? Isn't this clearly targeting us? Yes, let me ask. Medicine Master Sun took a deep breath and dialed Medicine Master Ge's number. Medicine Master Sun, what's the matter? Medicine Master Gu asked. Old Gu, do you know that the Sun family has been cancelled as a supplier? Medicine Master Sun asked. I just sent out a notice. Everyone in the warriors' market knows about it, Medicine Master Gu said. Does anyone else besides the Sun family know about the cancellation? Medicine Master Sun asked. No, only the Sun family. The cancellation was very sudden. We don't know the reason. We only know that the Sun family's medicinal herbs are not up to standard, Medicine Master Gu said. Okay, I got it. Medicine Master Sun hung up the phone. His face was terrible. Sure enough, it was targeted at the Sun family. Fast, ruthless, and accurate. The Xia family was not affected, which meant that the spot check was just an excuse. The goal was to punish the Sun family. How is it? Sun Xiaonong asked quickly after Medicine Master Sun hung up the phone. It's only our family. The Xia family is still fine. Medicine Master Sun sighed. I'm afraid it's really the Chen family. Chapter 249. Sun Xiaonong's face also became extremely pale. It's over, it's over. Impulsiveness is the devil. If I had known, I wouldn't have done it to Chen Jinpeng. Sun Yuming and Sun Yoli were also somewhat silent. Previously, the Sun family was showing off, feeling good about themselves, and bursting with self-confidence. Who could have thought so far ahead? Only now did they realize that the Sun family was far from those real aristocratic families. Although the Sun family was rich, they did not have a worthy martial artist. They were bullied, but they could do nothing. Of course, although everyone was a little regretful, the urgent matter was not regret, but to think of countermeasures. What should the Sun family do in the future? They were removed from the warriors' market, and they were hated by the Chen family. Where would they go in the future? Seeing that the Sun family was about to reach the peak of the family, from a small business family to an aristocratic family, Sun Xiaonong's original plan was very good. First, the Sun family obtained the supply share of all the warriors' market, then earned money to hire martial artists, and then, with the help of Medicine Master Sun, let the third generation of the family embark on the road of martial arts cultivation. In this way, it would not take many years for the Sun family to surpass the Xia family. It would not be a problem to surpass the original aristocratic families, and it would not be impossible to replace the number one aristocratic family in Songning City, the Cheng family. But now, all of this had become a dream. The Sun family was beaten back to its original state, and they could not make a comeback. This was the most frustrating and helpless. Father, I think we are not at the end of the line. Although we can't do it now, it is only because we have offended the Chen family. What if we rely on one of the aristocratic families in Songning City? Sun Yuming was the second-generation boss after all, and his words were also very standard. He found the problem immediately. The enemy of an enemy was a friend. The aristocratic families in Songning City were not monolithic, and they were all competitors. As long as they relied on a family that had a bad relationship with the Chen family, then the Sun family might have a chance to make a comeback. Oh. Sun Xiaonong was slightly stunned. At this time, Medicine Master Sun suddenly slapped his thighs and said, "Yes, our Sun family can endure hardships, pretend to rely on an aristocratic family, and then slowly accumulate strength. Maybe we can swallow that aristocratic family in one fell swoop, and then replace it as the new generation aristocratic family." Yes. Mingming and Yu Kai are right. Sun Xiaonong finally breathed a sigh of relief after listening. It seemed that the Sun family still had a chance. At that time, the Sun family still had hope to rise again. "Father, if that's the case, we should find a family that isn't particularly strong. It would be best if it's a family that's on the decline. Otherwise, even if they don't lack us, they might not be able to value us." Not to be outdone, Sun Yoli said, "Moreover, if we want to replace them in the future, the other party must not be very strong. Otherwise, it will not be so easy for us to annex the main family." "Good, that's a good analysis." Sun Xiaonong was very relieved. He didn't expect the Sun family to think of a countermeasure so quickly, and it was a very feasible countermeasure. "Yu Kai, you are the pharmacist of the martial artist market square in Songning City. You have more contact with the aristocratic families in Songning City. Tell me, what's their structure? Which family is weaker? Which family will we rely on to have a better future?" "Okay, uncle, let me think about it." Pharmacist's son took a deep breath and was lost in thought. Then, he said as if he was talking to himself, "The Qing family is definitely not going to make it. Nowadays, the Qing family is like the sun in the sky. Although Qing Zhongqian has disappeared, Qing Zhongming and Qing Zhongfan are the backbone of the family. Qing Mengxiang, the third generation, is also an outstanding talent of the young generation, the Jin family. This family is a little sick. All the members of the family are a little crazy. It's better to stay away from them. That Golden Fur Lion King and his granddaughter Jean Bebe are not good people. If we cooperate with them, we won't even know how we die. I'm more optimistic about the Xiao family. However, because we have a hostile relationship with the good-for-nothing of the Xiao family, Xiao Chen, I'll think about whether there are any suitable families for this family. The Chao family is definitely out of the question. With Chao Yuliang, there's no need to think about it. The same goes for the Chen family. We can also exclude them. The Zhu family. Zhu Yingxiong is also Xiao Chen's younger brother. Besides, the Zhu family has suddenly become powerful. With the old ancestor of the Zhu family, they are now in the period of development. They don't need us to surrender to them. They are already thriving. The Yu family. Yu Shaochuan is known as the leader of the young generation. Besides, Yu Shaochuan is a hypocrite who is best at scheming. If we surrender to them, Yu Shaochuan may backstab us. The Tang clan, on the other hand, has some relations with me. I was the one who cured their daughter, Tang Tang. However, I didn't cure her well, nor did I cure her badly. She became a fatty. However, the only problem now is that the Yu clan and the Tang clan haven't officially signed the marriage contract. The relationship between the two clans is also very ambiguous. Although the Tang clan can't be said to be thriving day by day, they haven't regressed either. And our biggest advantage is business, but the Tang family has their own business channels, which are also very complete. If we go, it will only be the icing on the cake. We won't be valued. The Lu family is an underworld family. It's best not to get involved with this kind of family. Otherwise, you might get into trouble and be annexed by others. You can't do anything about this kind of family being unreasonable. The rest are the Zheng family of the former Zheng's martial arts school, and the Shen family and Qi family in Songning City. But the Shen family and the Qi family are big and don't care about us at all. And the Zheng family is no longer an aristocratic family. Even if we replace them, it's useless, and they can't protect the Sun family. So, after thinking about it, only the Xiao family is the most suitable? After listening to Sun Yotsai's analysis, Sun Xiaonong frowned. Yes, in fact, in my mind, the most ideal family is the Xiao family. Why? Uncle, listen to my analysis slowly. Sun Yukai nodded and said, right now, the Xiao family is a family that is going downhill. Before, the Xiao family was one of the top 5 aristocratic families. But since the second generation Xiaofeng disappeared, the Xiao family's Xiao Chen was kicked out of the family. What does the Xiao family have? Although Xiao Hai's strength is not bad, he is only a stage 7 inner force warrior. And he is still a daughter. When the time comes, he will be married off. It can be said that the Xiao family will be extinct in the future. And most importantly, the Xiao family's business has just started, and it is supported by Xiao Hai alone. In the past, there was Xiao Feng to share the family's affairs, so Xiao Hai could still concentrate on the business. Now, he has to manage the family's affairs and business. Moreover, I also know a big secret, that is, Xiao Yuanshan won't be able to live for long. What? Medicine Master Sun's words shocked Sun Xiaonong. Isn't Xiao Yuanshan a stage 9 inner force warrior? How come he won't be able to live for long? Logically speaking, when a warrior reaches stage 8 inner force, it is not as simple as just improving their strength. Once their inner force reaches stage 8 inner force, their lifespan will also increase. It is very easy to live to 100 years old. And Xiao Yuanshan is only in his 60s. Why is he dying? He, others don't know, but I know. Because he asked me and old Gu to treat him. Medicine Master Sun laughed evilly and said, of course, this is a secret of the warrior market. If you are not one of us, I will not casually say it. This concerns the reputation of the warrior market, and this is a matter of life and death for our Sun family. Even if I say it, you have to keep it a secret. Okay. Sun Xiaonong glanced at the people present. Other than Sun Yukai, there was Sun Yuming and Sun Yoli. Sun Yumao was sad about Chen Iotafor's accidental death, so he did not attend the meeting. Don't worry, father. Brother Yukai, we will not say anything. Sun Yuming and Sun Yoli quickly said. Actually, Xiao Yuanshan was poisoned by a kind of poison. This kind of poison isn't a big deal normally, but when you cultivate, you will feel a tightness in your chest, and your strength will slowly decrease. I reckon that Xiao Yuanshan is already a stage 7 inner strength martial artist. Once he drops down from a stage 1 inner strength martial artist, he won't be far from death, unless a deity can save him. Medicine Master Sun said, this poison is very overbearing, and there is no antidote. At least, Medicine Master Gu and I have no solution. Oh, this is good news. Xiao family is going downhill, but if Xiao Yuanshan dies, will Xiao Chen take over? If Xiao Chen comes back to take over, we still can't swallow up Xiao family. Sun Xiaonong asked. Xiao Chen? A good for nothing. If Xiao Yuanshan dies, with Xiao Hai's intellect, killing them is just a matter of minutes. Medicine Master Sun said with disdain, don't forget what I do. Poison Xiao Hai, and after he dies, we will deal with Xiao Chen. At that time, the great Xiao family will belong to our Sun family, and our Sun family can rise again. At that time, we will replace the Xiao family, and we will not be afraid of the Chen family or the Chao family. We are also one of the 4 big and 5 small families, what can they do to us? Even the warriors' market will have to reevaluate our strength. Yes, what you said makes sense. Sun Xiaonong slowly nodded, famous, beneficial, what do you think? How about we go and surrender to the Xiao family? I agree. Sun Yuming listened to Sun Yotsai's analysis and felt that it was very reliable. What we are lacking now is Xiao Chen's side. What if the Xiao family doesn't accept us because of Xiao Chen? Sun Yoli said with some worry. This is not very likely. First, Xiao Chen has been kicked out of the Xiao family, and his matters have nothing to do with the Xiao family. I don't think his life or death has much to do with the Xiao family. Second, the people who have conflicts with Xiao Chen are Sun Rongjin, Sun Rongqin, and Chen Iofo. They are already dead, and the rest of the Sun family has no hatred with Xiao Chen, right? Sun Yukai said. Chapter 250. Alright, since there's no problem, then it's settled. However, we still need you to take care of this matter. Only you can get in touch with the Xiao family. Go and see if it's possible. If it's possible, our Sun family's business network can be a subsidiary of the Xiao family. At that time, hee. Sun Xiaonong sneered. I understand, uncle. Leave it to me. Medicine Master Sun nodded and agreed. With his identity as a medicine master, it wasn't difficult to get in touch with the Sun family. He could easily get in touch with Xiao Yuanshan. The Sun clan had decided on their future direction and restored their former stability. Medicine Master Sun went back to work, while the Sun clan began to reorganize their businesses. They suspended their business of purchasing medicinal herbs because it was useless now. The warriors' market square did not accept their medicinal herbs at all. The Sun family received the news, and so did the Xia family. When Xia Chaonan heard the news, his first reaction was disbelief. Because the Sun family had Medicine Master Sun, who was blessed by the heavens. How could the warriors' market remove the Sun family's qualification as a supplier? Could it be the White Fox? This was Xia Chaonan's first thought. After all, the White Fox was the only one who had attacked the Sun family recently. 3 people from the Sun family were killed by wind on horseback. This was a huge move. However, did the White Fox have the ability to influence the decision of the warriors' market? The only person who could make such a decision was Tai Mucheng. However, Xia Chaonan and Tai Mucheng had been doing business for many years. He knew Tai Mucheng's character very well. Tai Mucheng was an upright and strict person. He was loyal to the Hong Chamber of Commerce and wouldn't interfere with the normal operation of the warriors' market because of selfishness. He definitely wouldn't listen to someone else and remove the Sun family's qualification as a supplier. Even if he didn't care about the Sun family's reputation, Medicine Master Sun was still the pillar of the warriors' market. However, Xia Chaonan thought of a bold possibility. He looked at Xia Chaonan and Xia Huang and said, "Do you think that the White Fox is a superpower user and can influence the thoughts of others?" "I'm afraid that's the case." Xia Chaobei nodded. "If the wind can kill people, it should be able to affect other people's thoughts." "Damn, this is too awesome. It sounds like a sci-fi movie." Xia Huang sighed, "But I also think it's the work of the White Fox hero." "It must be. I'll get Xia Fei to thank her," Xia Chaonan said as he picked up the phone. Xiao Chen naturally knew that the Sun family was finished, and the Xia family had become the dominant family again. At this moment, he was cultivating crazily. The morning passed in the blink of an eye. At noon, Xiao Chen called Cheng Menjing and found out that he only finished the physical examination for the girls in the morning. He still had to continue the physical examination in the afternoon, so he simply didn't go to school. However, with the help of the jade ring, Xiao Chen felt that the effect of his cultivation was obviously much stronger than before. However, he was still one step away from the 5th level of the Qi refinement stage. However, he was not far from it. He was already at the peak of the 4th level of the Qi refinement stage. He only needed a little more to step into the 5th level of the Qi refinement stage. Phew! When Xiao Chen heard the sound of a car coming from outside the villa, he knew that the eldest miss had returned. So he stopped his cultivation and got up to leave the room. As expected, Cheng Menjing was back, and Jean Beibei was with her. However, after Jean Beibei sent Cheng Menjing off, she said goodbye to Xiao Chen and drove away. "I'm exhausted. Xiao Chen, come and help me carry my bag," Cheng Menjing said as she threw the bag in her hand to Xiao Chen. "I've been busy for the whole day, but I've carried this bag for nothing." Why is the school suddenly having a physical examination? Xiao Chen was a little puzzled. There was no notice at all for the sudden physical examination. Who knows? But I inquired about it later. It seems that Yu Xiaochuan is sponsoring it. I don't know what's wrong with him, but he's sponsoring a physical examination for everyone, including blood tests and X-rays. Cheng Menjing complained as she walked into the villa. She threw herself on the sofa, kicked off her slippers, and said to Xiao Chen, "Help me turn on the TV." Oh. Xiao Chen put Cheng Menjing's bag aside and turned on the TV. But he was thinking in his heart, Yu Xiaochuan is sponsoring it? Blood tests? What does he mean? Is he looking for something? Is he looking for a lady of mysterious Yin? The more Xiao Chen thought about it, the more likely it was. Because Yu Xiaochuan had issued this task before, and the method of blood tests was told to him by Xiao Chen. Therefore, Xiao Chen suddenly thought of this. It turns out that he wants to practice the chrysanthemum treasure book. I wonder if he has found the lady of mysterious Yin that he needs? Just as he was thinking about it, he turned on the TV. The local TV station was broadcasting an advertisement. If you have a dream, it will definitely come true. I'm the spokesperson. A large-scale talent show is starting. I'm the spokesperson. I speak for myself, this kind of talent show was endless. Every once in a while, there would be a new show. Xiao Chen was already used to it. However, this show was actually local. When Xiao Chen saw the sponsor at the bottom right corner of the TV, he was stunned. It was actually the Yu family's Wuxia group. The Yu family's company was very scattered in the first few years. However, these years, the company had formed a scale and began to form a group. They reorganized and formed a new Wuxia group. This also showed that the next successor of the Yu family was Yu Wuxia. Otherwise, the name of the group would not be named after him. As long as your appearance meets the requirements and you are healthy, you can sign up. The TV was still blabbering non-stop. Healthy? Hee, Xiao Chen was suddenly happy. Wasn't this still a blood test? He knew what Yu Xiaochuan was going to do. It was estimated that no one met his requirements in today's physical examination. He had no choice but to use a talent show to expand the scope of the audition. As long as one could pass the audition and be chosen, they could become the spokesperson of the Wuxia group. It was estimated that Yu Xiaochuan was going to use the unspoken rules. Even if the person who met the requirements did not look good, they would still become the first and successfully become the spokesperson. Shaking his head, Xiao Chen did not pay attention to him. If he wanted to practice, then let him practice. At least for now, Yu Xiaochuan was not his enemy. Moreover, the elder heaven ancestor said that his mental cultivation method was even more awesome than the chrysanthemum treasure book, so he was not afraid of him. What's so good about this advertisement? Help me change the channel. Cheng Menjing said in boredom. You're not going to participate in this event where I'm the spokesperson? Xiao Chen asked. I'm not that bored. Cheng Menjing said uninterestedly, quickly change the channel. Okay. Xiao Chen changed the channel. It happened to be the recently popular TV series, Campus Belle's Bodyguard. Cheng Menjing watched it with relish. Speaking of which, in the past few days, Lu Zhenming was also cramming for this film. He also sent a WeChat message to the author, Fishman 2, asking for a role. Originally, he did not expect that Fishman 2 could reply to him alone, but he did not expect that he really received a reply. Hello, Student Lu. I have written down your request, but there is no suitable role for you in the Campus Belle. I will arrange a role for you in the next novel. I guarantee that it will be very bad *SS, and the appearance rate will be very high. Lu Zhenming looked at the message and was ecstatic. He planned to show it to Cheng Menjing at school tomorrow. Is this the rhythm of being the protagonist? This made him overjoyed, so he immediately replied, Hello, Fishman 2, I have another request. Please help me fulfill it. The female protagonist in the next novel, let her be called Qing Menjing, okay? Okay. I have written it down. Soon, Fishman 2's message quickly replied. Wahahaha, Fishman 2 is so considerate of me. Lu Zhenming thought for a while and replied, I have another request. Can you fulfill it? Add a character called Xiao Chen. Make the setting more miserable. It's best if it is a good-for-nothing. Then, Lu Zhenming will often find trouble with him. Oh, okay. I have also written it down. Fishman 2 replied. Wahahaha, I am the protagonist. Lu Zhenming jumped 3 feet high. He was ready to show off to Qing Menjing tomorrow. As Xiao Chen was preparing to go to the kitchen to cook, the phone in the house rang. Xiao Chen went back to the room to answer the phone. It was actually CFA. CFA, what's the matter? Asked Xiao Chen. White Fox hero, thank you. CFA was a little excited. To be honest, she was shocked when she heard the news that the Sun family's qualification had been revoked. She didn't expect White Fox hero to be so powerful and solve the problem once and for all. Thank me for what? Xiao Chen was stunned. The Sun family's qualification as a supplier has been revoked. In the future, only the Xia family will be there. Thank you. CFA said, but White Fox hero, don't worry. Our Xia family will not be short of the 10 million every month. Although the matter has been resolved, this is the reward you deserve. Xiao Chen was a little surprised. The Sun family's qualification was revoked? Why? However, he didn't say that he didn't do it himself. Instead, he said, I took someone's money to eliminate a disaster. Now that the matter has been resolved, why are you still giving me money? Do you want me to work for your Xia family for a long time? How would I dare? My father wants to hire you as a guest elder of our Xia family. The salary is 10 million. CFA said, usually, it's just a title. Xia Chaonan didn't stop giving Xiao Chen money just because the matter was resolved. It was because he knew that if White Fox wanted to make money, he could just drag it on and not solve it. If he solved it a little every month, he could always make money. But now, the matter had been resolved. Xia Chaonan wouldn't do such an ungrateful thing. Therefore, he made this proposal. Firstly, it was to express his gratitude to White Fox hero. Secondly, he could also build a good relationship with White Fox hero. It wouldn't cause their relationship to become strangers because of the end of the mission. Then I won't be disrespectful. Xiao Chen was originally short of money. The Xia family was once again the dominant family. He didn't lack 10 million, so Xiao Chen agreed. Chapter 251. However, Xiao Chen was a little puzzled. Who helped me? Or did someone else take down the Sun family for other reasons? This was unknown. White Fox hero, can you influence other people's thoughts? CFA asked curiously. Xiao Chen was surprised. Who told you that? There are not many people who can make Tai Mucheng, the shopkeeper of the warrior market, change his mind, unless you can influence his thoughts. CFA said, Mr. White Fox is a superpower user. It should be possible, right? After listening, Xiao Chen suddenly felt a little dumbfounded. He thought that the Xia family had discovered something, but it turned out to be a wild guess. Xiao Chen could really influence other people's thoughts, so he was particularly nervous just now. Think whatever you want. Xiao Chen said vaguely. So it's true? CFA thought about it. Then, can White Fox influence me at that time? Can he make me change my mind? However, CFA didn't say this in the end. First, it was not good to say it on the phone. If she wanted to say it, she would say it in person. Second, she hadn't decided whether to tell White Fox Hero or not. If you think it's true, then it's true. Xiaochen smiled. Then, can you come over when you have time? Forget it. It's nothing. Xiaofan couldn't make a decision in the end. She and White Fox Hero were not very familiar. She was also afraid that White Fox Hero would mistakenly think that she wanted to seduce him, so she didn't say it. Xiaochen was a little puzzled, but since Xiaofan didn't want to say it, he naturally wouldn't force her. He shook his head with a bitter smile. Xiaochen said, "That's fine. Call me if there's anything." "Okay, no problem." Xiaofan nodded. After hanging up the phone, Xiaochen set the timer for the electric pot and then went to cook for the Mississippi. Nothing happened that night. The next morning, Xiaochen went to Tang Tang's residence again and saw her. Tang Tang's face looked better. Xiaochen asked the Elder Heaven Ancestor, "Elder Heaven Ancestor, how long will it take for Tang Tang to wake up?" "Soon. It should be around this time tomorrow, around 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning," the Elder Heaven Ancestor estimated. "But it's hard to say. It has to do with each person's constitution." "Well, as long as you're okay." Xiaochen tucked her in and left her house. Without Tang Tang, Xiaochen didn't bother to go to the morning market street to set up a stall. Now Xiaochen didn't care about the income from selling breakfast on the morning market street. The reason why he insisted on going there every day was that Tang Tang was there. It had become a habit of Xiaochen. The days with Tang Tang were very happy. Xiaochen didn't know if it was like a person. It was not like it. In short, it was a very strange feeling. He didn't have the palpitation of his heart for Shen Jingxian, but there was a strange warmth and satisfaction. It seemed that he would sell breakfast here for a lifetime. Xiaochen was also willing, so Xiaochen would stick to it until now. Now that Tang Tang was sick, Xiaochen had no interest, which reminded Xiaochen of a saying that it didn't matter whether he sold fried dough sticks or not. What mattered was who he sold them with. However, not long after he left Tang Tang's house, Xiaochen's cell phone rang. Who was looking for him so early in the morning? Xiaochen glanced at the caller ID. It was actually a call from the SIM card of his main body. Moreover, it was Chen Jinpeng who was calling. "Little Shack, why are you looking for me? Don't you sleep so early in the morning?" asked Xiaochen. Boss Xiaochen, let me tell you a piece of good news. The Sun family that Sun Rongjin, who teased Lin Ke, is from, had my dad make a deal with them and have their qualifications as suppliers to the Warriors Guild revoked. They can go back and cry their hearts out. Offending Boss Xiaochen is the same as seeking death. In order to make Xiaochen feel that he was not too deliberate, Chen Jinpeng had such good news to show off. "Oh, really? That's good, but it has nothing to do with me. You just want this?" Xiaochen secretly thought in his heart. Could it be that Chen Jinpeng's dad helped me indirectly? This was really a lucky hit. It's like this. There is something that is a little dangerous, but I think it is also an opportunity. With Boss Xiaochen's strength, you will not let it go. Chen Jinpeng also learned to be smart this time. He learned to suppress first and then let it go. "What is it? If you have something to say, say it." Xiaochen frowned. "Do you need to pay for your phone? It has been almost a minute." It's a monthly fee." Chen Jinpeng was stunned. "I'll freaking complain that you're wasting my electricity." Xiaochen said. It's like this. Isn't the person who died in the car race with you called Li Shanpao? He has a junior called Lin Chao. He is not satisfied, so he wants to compete with you again. Of course, it is not a free competition. There is also a reward." Chen Jinpeng said. He, Chao Yuliang, and Li Shanying had discussed it. They would put the blame on Lin Chao. Anyway, the person who took revenge was Lin Chao. If Xiao Chen died, the Xiao family and the Cheng family would know that Xiao Chen died because of Lin Chao. It had nothing to do with the Li family. Although Lin Chao knew it was a trap, he had to jump into it. If he didn't jump, Li Shannying would kill him first. He wouldn't have kept him alive until now. On the other hand, if the car race with Xiao Chen ended, he still had a chance. Li Shannying would give him a sum of money to go abroad. By then, he would be able to go abroad. No matter how bad *SS the Xiao family was, they were only limited to Songning City. Not to mention that he would go abroad. Therefore, Lin Chao didn't object to this reason. Chen Jinpeng told Xiao Chen. Anyway, the pros and cons had been told to Xiao Chen. Whether Xiao Chen followed was his own business. It had nothing to do with Chen Jinpeng. In order to ensure that he wouldn't rely on him in the future, he also secretly recorded the phone call. Lin Chao? How much is the reward? Xiao Chen found it a little funny. Did he come up with a new trick because he didn't kill me last time? Racing again? Sure, but Xiao Chen said, I'm not interested in money recently. My level has increased. If you want to gamble, you can do it. Get something else. What? Chen Jinpeng was stunned. Recently, I've been liking ancient jade, especially the jade used by famous warriors. I heard that if you wear these things on your body, you can become a warrior. You also know that I plan to cultivate to become a warrior. Xiao Chen said, do you have it? If you don't look for me. I've been collecting ancient jade recently. I don't have time to do anything else. It was better to look for it together. If he wanted money, he still had to buy jade in the end. It was better to let Chen Jinpeng and the others think of a way together. With such an excuse, Xiao Chen would feel sorry for himself if he didn't blackmail him. Ancient jade. Chen Jinpeng was a little stunned. It must be used by famous martial artists. Where can I find it? It's too difficult. Can't I give you more gambling money? Forget it. I'll look for it myself. You can find someone else to race. Xiao Chen said directly, I'm not short of money recently. **mn. Not short of money. A while ago, you were making money everywhere like a mad dog. Now, you're not short of money anymore. However, Chen Jinpeng had no choice. After listening to Xiao Chen, he could only say, okay, I'll try. Then call me when you have news. Xiao Chen hung up the phone. Chen Jinpeng held the phone helplessly. Chao Yuliang and Li Shannying were waiting for the news. How is it? Did Xiao Chen agree? What ancient jade? This guy suddenly said that he wanted ancient jade used by famous martial artists. I don't have that kind of thing. Chen Jinpeng said, he said that he is not short of money recently. I don't know who said that the ancient jade used by famous martial artists can help him cultivate. Isn't this nonsense? It's also the first time I've heard of such a strange effect. Li Shannying said, but this is nothing. Our Li family has a lot of antiques. There are also many things used by famous masters. I'll ask someone to bring a few. Let him choose then. It doesn't matter anyway. If he dies, everything will still be mine. That's good. Chen Jinpeng breathed a sigh of relief. I'll call him back. After that, Chen Jinpeng dialed Xiao Chen's phone again. Why are you calling again? Don't you know that my cell phone is almost out of battery? Buy a power bank and send it to me. Don't waste my cell phone battery. Xiao Chen picked up the phone and said. Okay, I'll buy one for you later. Chen Jinpeng agreed without thinking. A power bank didn't cost much. He continued, it's like this, boss Xiao Chen, I've discussed it with Li Chao. He's been racing all these years, and he's won a lot of things. There's really an ancient jade used by a martial artist. When the time comes, he'll bring it over. Will you race? Okay, when? When Xiaochen heard that there was an ancient jade, he naturally agreed. Is this Saturday okay? Chen Jinpeng asked. Yes, where? Xiaochen didn't care. Any time was fine. I'll tell you when Lin Chao decides. Chen Jinpeng said, if you agree, then I can tell Lin Chao to arrange it. Okay, then I'll wait for your news. Xiaochen hung up the phone. He looked at the time and walked to school. Although it was a bit early, it was almost time. Along the way, Xiaochen was surprised to find that the advertising signs on both sides of the road had been changed to "You families, I'm the spokesperson" advertisement. On it was written, the first place has an annual salary of 1 million endorsement contract. The second place has a bonus of 300,000. The third place has a bonus of 100,000. The selection and registration requirements were very low. As long as one went to the hospital to do a physical examination and fill in a form, one could enter the candidate list. There was no need for the contestants to do anything. Such a simple process, other than Xiaochen, it was hard for others to understand what You Family was doing. The cost of organizing this event wasn't low. They had invested so much money, but in the end, it was all thunder and no action. There wasn't a TV talent show, but the first, second, and third place were directly determined after the audition. This was simply child's play. Generally, this event was to promote the company, but after this selection, the first, second, and third place were directly determined. It was really unimaginable. It was impossible to say that the rankings were predetermined. After all, if it was predetermined, the first, second, and third place wouldn't bring any substantial benefits to themselves. Chapter 252. The first place could sign an endorsement contract and get an annual salary of 1 million. The second and third place could go home with the bonus, and the event would be over. If it was decided internally, they could just find 3 people. Why would they need to spend the event planning and advertising fees? Of course, Xiaochen knew that Yu Xiaochuan was looking for the lady of Xianin. Lin Ke also saw the advertisement on TV. She secretly sent the registration information and waited for the unified organization to organize a physical examination. In Lin's eyes, this was a great opportunity. Even if she couldn't get first place, the second and third place would get 300,000 and 100,000 respectively. If Lin got it, it would relieve the pressure of her family. After signing up, Lin Ke waited patiently. However, what surprised her was that Xiaochen and Tang Tang didn't come to the morning market to set up their stalls. Where did they go? Lin called Tang Tang's phone, but it was turned off. She wanted to call Xiaochen, but she didn't have the courage. She could only look at Xiaochen and Tang Tang's booth every morning to see if there was anyone. The news of the competition was just announced yesterday. Today, he received thousands of registration letters on the website and in physical mail. Red Hair reported it to Yu Xiaochuan, which made him very surprised. How many girls could there be in a school? However, on the first day of registration, there were already thousands. Yu Xiaochuan didn't believe that he couldn't find the lady of Xianin. Anyway, he could continue to hold events and expand the scope of registration. The cost of a spokesperson was only 1 million. Including the awards, it wasn't much. In order to find the lady of Xianin, Yu Xiaochuan was willing to invest any amount of money. Good, very good. The first batch of registration will be limited to 10,000. Then, you take them to do a physical examination. If there is a blood match, then stop the registration and select 1, 2, and 3. If there is no match, then continue. Yu Xiaochuan ordered. Okay, young Master Kun. Red Hair quickly responded, what about the second and third place? What's the evaluation standard? That is up to you. Yu Xiaochuan didn't care about the second and third place. Okay, young Master Kun. Don't worry, I will definitely do it well. Red Hair quickly said. What Red Fur didn't expect was that the number of registrations on the first day had reached the 10,000 mark. Red Fur immediately stopped the registrations and got his subordinates to inform these 10,000 people to gather for a physical examination tomorrow. Of course, Red Hair had already contacted the hospital where the physical examination would be conducted. He had also informed them that everyone would only be tested on their blood tomorrow and nothing else. He had mobilized a lot of nurses to collect their blood and many doctors to conduct tests together. Therefore, it was nothing new for 10,000 people to be examined at the same time. Lin also received the news. She was excited and planned to go for a physical examination the next morning, just as Xiaochuan was bustling about. At this very moment, the Xiao family welcomed an uninvited guest. What made Xiao Yuanshan a little surprised was that martial artist Marketplace's medicine master son actually came to visit. Medicine master son? What is he here to see? Xiao Yuanshan looked at Xiao Hai and asked. I'm not too sure either. Xiao Hai shook his head. Father, didn't you see him before? Has your illness been cured? Xiao Hai's words reminded Xiao Yuanshan. Could it be that medicine master son found a way to cure his illness and that's why he secretly came to visit? After all, Xiao Yuanshan requested the martial artist Marketplace to keep this a secret. Even Xiao Hai didn't know about it. Alright, how about this? Tell him to come in and find me. Then, you can busy yourself with your own matters. Xiao Yuanshan instructed Xiao Hai. Yes, father. Xiao Hai didn't think much and went out to tell medicine master son to see his father. Meanwhile, he went to busy himself with the Xiao family's matters. Ever since his big brother went missing, he had to shoulder all the family matters alone. It was very tiring for him. Old man Xiao, how have you been? Medicine master son chuckled as he walked into Xiao Yuanshan's room. Xiao Yuanshan hurriedly got up to welcome him. Even though medicine master son's age was considered his junior, martial artists respected strength. Those with high strength were called seniors, and those with low strength were called juniors. Even though medicine master son's martial artist cultivation wasn't much, he was still a medicine master. He was also a very powerful existence. Xiao Yuanshan couldn't help but be respectful. So it's Medicine Master Sunday. Your presence really brings light to my humble home. Huh, old man Xiao must be joking. I'm just here to take a look. I'm just a small character, what's there to bring light to? Medicine Master Sun waved his hand and said, Old man Xiao, your poison, how is it? It's still the same. Xiao Yuanshan sighed. Thank you for Medicine Master Sun's concern. Now, do you have a good solution? Not yet, but I've been working hard to research and search. I believe that in the near future, Old Man Zhao's poison will be cured. Medicine Master Sun said. That's good. At least there's something to think about. Xiao Yuanshan also knew that Medicine Master Sun was mostly consoling him, but he still smiled. Consoling was also good. As long as there was a glimmer of hope, he didn't want to give it up. Oh right, Medicine Master Sun, then why did you come to the Xiao family? Medicine Master Sun's purpose of coming here made Xiao Yuanshan a little suspicious. He had heard about the recent dispute between the Sun family and the Xie family. The Sun family was prospering. If Medicine Master Sun didn't come here to cure his poison, then what was it for? I won't hide it from Old Man Xiao. This time, I'm here to represent the Sun family to surrender. Medicine Master Sun's expression suddenly turned serious. He cupped his fist and said, Old Man Xiao, I hope that the Xiao family can save the Sun family. Consider that I tried my best to suppress the poison for you. Oh? What do you mean? Xiao Yuanshan was stunned. He didn't know why Medicine Master Sun would make such a move. He still didn't know that the Sun family had already been removed from the list of suppliers in the warriors' market. This kind of news, the Xiao family usually had to wait for a day or two before they could find out. After all, the Xiao family didn't have anyone to specifically inquire about the news. Xiao Hai was too busy with his own matters. It's like this. Medicine Master's son didn't hide anything. He told Xiao Yuanshan about how he had recently offended Chen Jinpeng, offended the Chen family. Your Sun family is unwise. Xiao Yuanshan couldn't help but sigh after listening. This Sun family was indeed a little too complacent. They clearly knew that the Chen family's Chen Huanling had just been promoted to the Warriors Guild's vice president, yet they still went to provoke him? Wasn't this courting death? Actually, in the end, this matter can only be blamed on that brat, Xiao Chen. Medicine Master Sun sighed and said helplessly. Oh? What does it have to do with Xiao Chen? Xiao Yuanshan was a little puzzled. How did Xiao Chen get involved? Initially, the one who had a conflict with our Sun family was Xiao Chen. Chen Jinpeng was only helping Xiao Chen, the boss, and that's why we became enemies. Medicine Master Sun told him about how Xiao Chen was humiliated and how Chen Jinpeng stood up for him. What? Chen Jinpeng is now still working as Xiao Chen's underling? Xiao Yuanshan was a little shocked after listening. Was there something wrong with this Chen Jinpeng's brain? Xiao Chen was already chased out of the family, yet he still went to work as an underling. How retarded would he be? Yeah, I'm also quite puzzled. The most infuriating thing is that Chao Yuliang from the Chao family also joined in and helped Xiao Chen. Medicine Master Sun was very depressed, he even killed a level 6 inner strength guard from our Sun family. Pfft. Ahem. Xiao Yuanshan felt like he was listening to a book from heaven. It was fine that Chen Jinpeng was out of his mind, but Chao Yuliang and Xiao Chen used to be sworn enemies, right? Why did he help Xiao Chen? Were they brainwashed? If he didn't know that Medicine Master Sun wouldn't joke about the Sun family's life and death, he would have thought that Medicine Master Sun was talking nonsense. But these things were easy to investigate. He would just ask Xiao Hai to find out tomorrow. In order to avoid arousing suspicion, Xiao Yuanshan rarely asked Xiao Hai to ask about Xiao Chen. He only knew that Xiao Chen was currently living okay, but it was a bit hard. He was a servant for Cheng Menjing without a salary. Every morning, he would go to the morning market with Tang Tang to sell breakfast. But he didn't know what relationship he had with Chen Jinpeng and Chao Yuliang. Now it seemed that it was really strange. Old man Xiao, we had a good relationship in the past. I treated you before. Even when Xiao Chen was a child, I also saw that he couldn't practice martial arts. So I didn't suggest the Sun family to go against Xiao Chen. I just asked the Sun family to take revenge on Chen Jinpeng. Who knew that this would happen? Medicine Master Sun said as if he was very caring for the Xiao family. But this time, Xiao Yuanshan really believed it. From his point of view, with the Sun family's strength, they might not be able to touch Chen Jinpeng and Chao Yuliang. But if they wanted to touch Xiao Chen wouldn't be able to hide for even a day. Facing a giant like the Sun family, Xiao Chen was too weak. One person was too small. Anyone from the Sun family could crush him to death. But what Xiao Yuanshan didn't know was that the Sun family was about to be wiped out by his weak grandson. Thank you Medicine Master Sun for giving me face. Although Xiao Chen was kicked out of the family, I don't want him to die. Xiao Yuanshan sighed, revealing his true feelings. Medicine Master Sun thought to himself. As expected, if he died, there would be no one left in the Xiao family. It might really make Xiao Chen come back. But Xiao Chen was a big waste. Dealing with him was a piece of cake. He could kill him in minutes. It was better to take over the Xiao family first. Well said, well said. Medicine Master Sun said, right now, our Sun family is at a dead end. We're ready to rely on the Xiao family. If Elder Xiao accepts us, then you will be our master. Xiao Chen will be our young master. Our Sun family is a dependent family, so we can't be disrespectful to him. We'll talk about Xiao Chen later. You mean, you want to rely on the Xiao family? Xiao Yuanshan was a little surprised. Although the Sun family was at a dead end, how much courage would it take to rely on someone else? After all, if the Sun family didn't offend the Chen family, with the speed at which the Sun family accumulated strength, they would quickly enter the ranks of the aristocratic families. In the next aristocratic family selection, they might even replace one of the families. Chapter 253. That's right, please accept us, Elder Xiao. Medicine Master Sun nodded. Then, what benefits will our Xiao family get in the future? Xiao Yuanshan asked. All of Sun family's business channels can be used by the Xiao family to quickly expand the business. As long as we have the Xiao family's name, it will be easy for us to do business. We only want 30% of the profits, and the remaining 70% will belong to the Xiao family, Medicine Master Sun said. Xiao Yuanshan sucked in a breath of cold air. This Sun family's move was really big. Their business channels, and they only took 30% of the profits. This was basically operating costs. After all, hiring staff and shop costs were all costs. They worked so hard and only took 30% in the end. This was a sign that they were sincere. And the Xiao family's weakness was their business. After doing business for so many years, there wasn't much improvement. It wasn't a problem for him to support his family, but to say that he was rich was still far from it. Especially since Xiao Hai couldn't handle it alone. So at this moment, Xiao Yuanshan was tempted. Okay, let me think about it. I'll get back to you. Xiao Yuanshan nodded. No problem. Elder Xiao, I'll be leaving first. If there's any news, call me at any time. I'll be waiting for your good news. Medicine Master Sun looked at Xiao Yuanshan and knew that the matter was almost done. All that was left was to discuss the details with Xiao Hai. He didn't say much and got up to leave. After Medicine Master Sun left, Xiao Hai was called into the house by Xiao Yuanshan, and the two began to discuss. Xiao Chen was going to use the last pot of medicine tonight. If it didn't work, he would need to buy more ingredients tomorrow. Xiao Chen realized that his medicine was being used up very quickly. Although the jade thumb ring was assisting Xiao Chen's cultivation, Xiao Chen also realized that although the jade thumb ring was effective, it was worlds apart from the jade pendant. The spiritual energy contained in the two was not on the same level. Hence, Xiao Chen urgently needed other spirit jades. If he could cultivate together, 2 spirit jades would release spiritual energy at the same time. That way, the effects and cultivation speed would be faster. Without any surprise, Xiao Chen still didn't break through. From Xiao Chen's point of view, he was only a little bit away from breaking through. It seemed like he could reach it, but he couldn't touch it at the same time. Xiao Chen felt as if he was far away, yet close at hand. If the jade ring was a little more powerful, Xiao Chen would have broken through. However, the problem now was that the jade ring wasn't powerful enough. The amount of spiritual energy it provided in a unit of time was not enough for Xiao Chen to successfully break through. Therefore, Xiao Chen could only cultivate slowly. In this way, Xiao Chen urgently needed other spiritual jades. It depended on whether Chen Jinpeng could really get it or not. Xiao Chen didn't believe that Lin Chao could get it. If Lin Chao was so powerful, why would he follow Li Shanpao? Nothing happened that night. It was no surprise that Xiao Chen didn't break through. The next morning, Xiao Chen went to see Tang Tang and went to school. Tang Tang hadn't woken up yet, but Xiao Chen suddenly found that Tang Yun's body seemed to be a little swollen, as if a lot of water had been poured under her skin. This made Xiao Chen a little worried. Elder Heaven Ancestor, what's going on? Why does Tang Tang look like a floating corpse? Xiao Chen asked quickly, what's under her skin? Oh, it's all toxins. She should wake up in a while and go to the toilet to detoxify. Elder Heaven Ancestor said, the toxins in her body are more than I thought. I'm afraid she will have to delay waking up a little. I still have to postpone it. When will she wake up? Xiaochen asked. Even if it's delayed, it won't be long. She will wake up in a few hours, Elder Heaven Ancestor said. Oh, then I'd better go. I wanted to wait for her to wake up, but she needs to go to the toilet as soon as she wakes up. How awkward would she be if I'm here? Xiaochen knew very well how smelly the toxins in his body were, and he was still in a normal body. Tang Tang's poisoned body might not be able to knock people out, but it would stink to the heavens. So, Xiaochen had better leave first, so that Tang Tang wouldn't be so embarrassed. Xiaochen immediately went to Tang Tang's house. At the same time, on Yu Xiaochuan's side, Red Hair organized the contestants to go to the hospital for a physical examination in the morning. As for Lin, she also secretly went to participate in the physical examination. When Xiaochen arrived at the school, there weren't many people. As soon as he walked to the playground, a red and cool Land Rover rushed toward him. F***CK. Xiaochen was stunned. This is the rhythm of wanting to kill me. He dodged subconsciously, but at this moment, the Land Rover behind him screeched to a stop behind Xiaochen. Obviously, this person's purpose wasn't to kill Xiaochen, but to scare Xiaochen. Qi Zhigao jumped out of the car. He didn't expect Xiaochen to dodge so quickly. Your reaction is quite quick. Is it because you have been beaten up too much recently that your dodging skills have improved? Qi Zhigao. Xiaochen was stunned. He looked at his car, and he didn't see Xiao Xiao. He was a little puzzled. This guy finally couldn't hold it in for a while? Hee, it's me, your father. Qi Zhigao smiled. Whose father did you say you are? A hint of violence flashed in Xiaochen's eyes. This feeling came again. Xiaochen couldn't help but have the urge to kill Qi Zhigao. Qi Zhigao, you changed quite fast. You even called me Brother Xiao before. Xiaochen found that as long as someone touched his reverse scale, he would have the urge to kill. This reverse scale included his family and friends. Oh, sorry, your father is dead. I don't want to be your father. Qi Zhigao saw that Xiaochen was angry, and he was even happier. Kid, I respected you as Xiao Xiao's brother and called you brother. But now, even Xiao Xiao doesn't care about you. I don't respect you at all. Xiaochen took a deep breath. This Qi Zhigao was a spoiled child. He didn't have much evil intentions towards him. He was just here to vent his anger. Otherwise, he would have crashed his car earlier. There was no need to brake. Moreover, this guy was sincere towards Xiao Xiao. Xiaochen didn't want to kill him because of his personal feelings. Although there was no one in the school now, no one would know if he killed him. Go, I don't want to see you. Xiaochen waved his hand and turned to leave. Did your Gao bro let you go? Qi Zhigao slapped the back of Lin Yi's head. He was a stage 3 inner force martial artist, but at this moment, he controlled his inner force and suppressed it to around stage 1. In other words, he could beat Xiaochen up until his sister couldn't recognize him, but he couldn't take Xiaochen's life. Xiaochen took 2 steps forward and dodged. He didn't even turn his head and said, Qi Zhigao, are you done? Xiaochen didn't want to kill him, but he was getting angry. Of course I'm not done. Xiaochen, if I didn't beat you up today, it would be unfair to my car. That day, Yu Xiaochuan was here, so I could only endure it. Now, no one can help you. If I beat you up, Xiao Xiao will think that I'm very manly. Wahahaha. Qi Zhigao looked at Xiaochen proudly. However, speaking of Yu Xiaochuan, he was even angrier. Yu Xiaochuan said that he would pay for Xiaochen's car, but he didn't even see a single cent. What a scam. So, his admiration and respect for Yu Xiaochuan turned into disgust. Young people at this age always looked up to those who were slightly older and very capable, and treated them as their goal. However, Yu Xiaochuan's actions made Qi Zhigao lose his interest. However, Qi Zhigao's behavior made Xiaochen speechless. Does beating me up give you a sense of accomplishment? However, Xiaochen didn't want to be beaten up for no reason because he pretended to be weak. Otherwise, how could he go to school? Xiaochen had a lot of things to do recently. If he didn't resist and get beaten up, he wouldn't be able to go to the car race tomorrow. Don't force me, okay? Xiaochen looked at Qi Zhigao and was really speechless. If you're a man, fight with me. Don't beg for mercy. No wonder Xiao Xiao looks down on you. You're a weakling, a coward, and a cripple. Qi Zhigao shouted. Xiaochen pondered for a moment. Suddenly, he turned around and kicked Qi Zhigao. At this moment, Xiaochen revealed his full strength. The strength of the peak of level 4 Qi refinement stage erupted, which was equivalent to more than level 5 Qi refinement stage. This made Qi Zhigao instantly dumbfounded. Before Xiaochen's foot arrived, the wind from the kick had already pushed the unprepared Qi Zhigao directly to the ground. His face was filled with disbelief, horror, and confusion. How could Xiaochen be a martial artist? Moreover, his strength had reached the peak of level 5 Qi refinement stage. How was this possible? This was unrealistic. However, unrealistic was unrealistic. While Qi Zhigao was still in shock, Xiaochen's foot had already arrived. Qi Zhigao subconsciously closed his eyes. He was only a level 3 Qi refinement stage martial artist. Even if he resisted with all his strength, and Xiaochen didn't attack with all his strength, he would still be seriously injured. However, when Xiaochen's foot stepped on his chest, he held back his strength. Qi Zhigao felt for a long time. Other than the feeling of a foot stepping on his body, there was nothing wrong. Qi Zhigao opened his eyes and looked at the big foot in front of him in disbelief. Looking at Xiaochen who was looking down on him, he subconsciously said, "Brother Xiao, I was wrong. Don't step on me to death." He thought that Xiaochen wanted him to say a few last words before he died. Wasn't it usually like this on TV and in novels? Before killing someone, they would let the victim say a few last words. Therefore, Qi Zhigao was directly scared to death. Qi Zhigao, aren't you very capable? Why are you scared? You are a weakling, a coward, and a cripple. Xiaochen returned all the words that Qi Zhigao had said before to Qi Zhigao. In an instant, the momentum of his body erupted again, as if he was going to step on Qi Zhigao to death. Brother Xiao, I was wrong. I am a weakling. Qi Zhigao was indeed scared to death. Don't tell anyone about what happened today. Otherwise, I can easily kill you. Xiaochen said lightly. Chapter 254. Ah, I can't. Brother Xiao, I'm your brother-in-law. How can I talk nonsense? Qi Zhigao quickly said. Whose brother-in-law are you? I don't have a brother-in-law like you. Xiaochen shook his head and snorted coldly. Brother, I was wrong before. You know, your brother-in-law admires the strong. Brother Xiao, weren't you a good-for-nothing before? How did you suddenly have the strength of the peak of the 5th stage of inner force? What's going on? I'm a little confused. Qi Zhigao said while lying on the ground with a smile. Nothing. Just don't talk nonsense. Xiaochen didn't answer him because Xiaochen couldn't answer it clearly. Moreover, Xiaochen didn't want to tell anyone about the Elder Heaven Ancestor. At least not for the time being. Don't worry. Qi Zhigao nodded repeatedly. By the way, Brother Xiao, I know. You must have deliberately hidden your strength and then acted with the Xiao family. They drove you out to investigate the disappearance of my uncle. Is that true? Who the F***ck is your uncle? Xiaochen said angrily. I'm your brother-in-law, brother. Uncle Xiaofan is my uncle. Qi Zhigao said. You understand it yourself. Xiaochen didn't expect that although Qi Zhigao was a playboy, his brain was very sharp. He actually found out that there was something wrong with his father's disappearance. Yes, yes. Qi Zhigao nodded repeatedly. Don't tell Xiao Xiao about this. Xiaochen said. Oh. Xiao Xiao doesn't know. Qi Zhigao nodded quickly. She doesn't know. Xiaochen said. Oh, she still doesn't know that her brother is a shining figure. If she knew, she would definitely worship you to death. Qi Zhigao said, No, brother Xiao, I already worship you to death. I just know that there is a master beside me. So it turns out that my big brother is the legendary existence of the younger generation. He hid his superb strength and endured humiliation to clear his father's name. He even secretly went to the guardian goddess and flirted with girls in secret. It's so cool, so awesome, so awesome. Xiaochen was a little speechless. But from Qi Zhigao's point of view, if all of this was premeditated and not a fortuitous encounter, then it was really amazing. How scheming did he have to be to do such a thing? I know I'm right. Big brother, you've tacitly agreed. Don't worry, I won't say anything. You don't need to hint at me. Qi Zhigao crawled up from the ground and gave the car key to Xiaochen. Big brother, how can you not have a car if you're so awesome? You can have my car. No, I have a few. Chen Jinpeng gave them to me, Xiaochen said. Oh, I understand. Keep a low profile. Big brother is keeping a low profile now, so I'm leaving. If you need anything, just call me. I'm definitely your best lackey. Qi Zhigao said. Xiaochen nodded and motioned that Qi Zhigao could go. This guy could still be trusted. After all, he really wanted to pursue Xiao Xiao. In that case, he would definitely not do anything bad to the Xiao family. Especially when he thought that Xiaochen was acting with the Xiao family, there was no reason for him to expose him. After Qi Zhigao left, Xiaochen walked into the classroom. After a while, Zheng Xiaokuan came. He saw Xiaochen but did not see Tang Tang. He could not help but be a little worried. Xiaochen, why hasn't Tang Tang come yet? Did something happen to her? No, she should wake up today, right? Xiaochen said. Elder Heaven Ancestor should not be wrong. Xiaochen was still very convinced of Elder Heaven Ancestor's judgment. Okay. Zheng Xiaokuan knew that it was useless to worry, so he could only nod and wait patiently. After Xiaochen transferred here, he suddenly found that his relationship with Tang Tang was a little estranged. On the contrary, Xiaochen was getting closer and closer to Tang Tang. However, he was not jealous because he knew that it was impossible for him and Tang Tang. If Xiaochen could treat Tang Tang sincerely, he would be very happy, although it would be a little sad. Xiaochen was right. In fact, Tang Tang woke up as soon as Xiaochen left in the morning. But after waking up, she got up in a daze and rushed to the toilet. She only felt that her stomach seemed to be about to erupt. After entering the bathroom, Tang Tang couldn't come out. Tang Tang was a little confused. She didn't seem to have such diarrhea before, and it didn't stop. Fortunately, it was water, otherwise, it would come out. But, what's wrong with me? In a daze, Tang Tang felt that she seemed to be going to school before, and then she didn't know anything. Was it a dream before? Now that she thought about it, it should be so. Otherwise, why would she wake up at home? Tang Tang sat in the toilet. Time passed by, but her stomach didn't have the slightest intention of stopping. 10 minutes, half an hour, 1 hour, 2 hours. Tang Tang was a little anxious. She looked up at the wall clock in the bathroom, and it was already more than 6 o'clock. She didn't go to the morning market to set up the stall, but she was going to be late for school. Finally, at 7 o'clock, Tang Tang finished the battle. But she touched her body, and it was also sticky. She didn't know what black stuff seeped out. Could it be that she splashed when she went to the toilet? But it couldn't be. Anyway, Tang Tang had no choice but to turn on the shower head in the bathroom and quickly rinsed herself. She rinsed the body twice and finally washed off the mud on her body. Tang Tang quickly wiped her body, ran out, put on her clothes in the bedroom, picked up her school bag, and rushed to school. Huh? Why does it seem that the clothes on my body are a little bigger? Did it become bigger after taking a bath? Other clothes were shrinking, but this one was actually soaked big. It seemed that the cheap clothes bought in the morning market didn't work. But Tang Tang didn't want to go home to change. It was good to wear loose casual clothes. Tang Tang glanced at her watch. She was going to be late. Not only was she going to be late, but she also glanced at the date. She was actually on duty today. Tang Tang vaguely remembered that it seemed that there were still a few days before her turn on duty, but how could it be so fast? Was she dreaming again? Was she in a daze? Tang Tang trotted all the way to school. She used to walk to school, but today when she saw a bus, she directly squeezed onto it and went in the direction of school. What made Tang Tang a little confused was that it was not easy to squeeze onto the bus with her fat body in the past. But today, she actually got on the bus with a whoosh. And in the bus, there was a man with a wretched look staring at Tang Tang. Look at your head. Haven't you seen a fat girl before? Tang Tang glared at the wretched man. Huh? The wretched man was stunned and shook his head in amazement as if he had heard something very incredible. Tang Tang didn't have the mood to care about him. She got off the bus and rushed to the school and the class. At this time, there were 2 minutes left before the first class. Tang Tang quickly ran to the podium. She didn't even have time to put her school bag back in the seat. She picked up the blackboard eraser and began to wipe the blackboard. The math teacher walked into the class and was about to start the class. Seeing Tang Tang was still wiping the blackboard, she was just about to ask why she was on duty so late. What did she do before? But before she could speak, she was stunned. Who is this little girl? Did she go to the wrong class? Why have I never seen her before? Classmate, did you go to the wrong class? The math teacher looked at Tang Tang with some confusion. She looked left and right, but she didn't know her. She looked a little familiar. But the teacher had taught countless people in her life, so it was normal to see everyone a little familiar. Wrong class? Miss Chen, don't you know me? Tang Tang looked at the math teacher with some confusion. This is the 3rd grade class. Although I'm Miss Chen, but... Are you in this class? Miss Chen looked at Tang Tang with some confusion. I am. Tang Tang said in her heart. Did Miss Chen lose her memory? Are you a new transfer student? Miss Chen thought of a possibility, but it was a little strange that a transfer student knew her on the first day of school. Miss Chen, I am Tang Tang. Tang Tang said with some depression. Tang Tang? Miss Chen looked at Tang Tang in front of her in astonishment. You said you are Tang Tang? Don't joke, classmate. This joke is not funny at all. Which class are you in? Hurry up and go back. I'll take it as a joke. Otherwise, if I report it to the school, you will be punished. Report it to the school? Give me punishment? Miss Chen, don't joke around. I'm really Tang Tang. Tang Tang really didn't know whether to laugh or cry. How come Miss Chen didn't know me? In fact, not only Miss Chen, when Tang Tang entered the class, the students in the class were also a little puzzled. Why did a super beautiful girl suddenly come in? She was almost on par with the goddess Cheng Menjing. The students were stunned. Was she a transfer student? Then they would be happy in the future. They didn't know what her family background was. Could they catch up with her? Cheng Menjing was arrogant and cold every day. They knew that they could not catch up with her. Moreover, she was Lu Zhenming's girl. Who was Lu Zhenming? He was a gangster. Who dared to provoke him? But Tang Tang's appearance made the other boys' minds active. Students, you all know Tang Tang, right? Then, do you think the person on the podium is Tang Tang? Do you know her? Seeing Tang Tang's expression, Miss Chen was a little depressed. Why didn't this student give up until she jumped into the Yellow River? There should be a limit to jokes, right? Tang Tang was a student in this class. The students in this class should know her. In this case, she simply didn't say it. She didn't argue with her. She directly let the student say whether the student on the podium was Tang Tang or not. Miss Chen was really puzzled. Why did a beautiful girl pretend to be Tang Tang? Tang Tang was much uglier than her. No. The students under the stage almost said in unison. How could it be Tang Tang? Tang Tang and she were completely different people. Chapter 255. Moreover, some bold ones, such as Skinny Monkey, even whistled, "Beauty, are you a transfer student? Can I pursue you?" Of course, when everyone was making a fuss, only one person was stunned at the moment. Xiao Chen was very puzzled. Tang Tang's cousin, why did she suddenly come to the class to join in the fun? The person in front of him was the same as the cousin's photo Xiao Chen saw in Tang Tang's home. She was very beautiful, but why did Xiao Chen feel that she was silly? What a waste of her appearance. Even if she pretended to be Tang Tang, people would still believe her. She was exposed, but she still didn't repent, and kept saying that she was Tang Tang. Was she here to be funny? Skinny Monkey, are you looking for death? How dare you flirt with your sister Tang? Tang Tang glared at the direction of Skinny Monkey, and then said to Lu Zhenming, "Lu Zhenming, control your little brother." Huh? Lu Zhenming was stunned. This beautiful girl was quite familiar with him. Her tone and voice were a bit like Tang Tang, but she was clearly not Tang Tang. Hey, don't make trouble. You go out, I have to go to class. Teacher Chen said helplessly. Tang Tang was about to collapse. What the hell was going on? When she woke up, it seemed that everyone around her didn't know her. Was it really like what those horror novels said? When she woke up, everyone around her was still there, but she had traveled through time? And traveled to a parallel world, where there was also a Tang Tang, but it was not her. Xiao Chen, others may not know me, but don't you know me? Tang Tang didn't care about Teacher Chen anymore. She quickly ran to Xiao Chen, stared at Xiao Chen, and said, "Look who I am. Aren't you Tang Tang's cousin?" Xiao Chen said weakly, "Others may not know you, but I definitely know you. I have seen your photo in Tang Tang's home." Did she tell you? I am Tang Tang. Tang Tang was a little anxious. What cousin? Where did I come from? Xiao Chen, stop joking. Tang Tang was so anxious that she didn't remember that she had lied to Xiao Chen's cousin before. She just wanted to prove that she was Tang Tang. Tang Tang doesn't look like this. Xiao Chen took out his mobile phone, opened a photo of himself and Tang Tang, and handed it to Tang Tang's cousin in front of him. "Look, this is Tang Tang." "It's me," Tang Tang said anxiously. Xiao Chen was really speechless. He had wanted to pursue Tang Tang's cousin before. It turned out that the person in front of him was not very smart. "Take a selfie and see what you look like." "Do you look like this?" Tang Tang picked up the phone with some doubts. She opened the camera and turned on the front camera. She was a little shocked at first glance. She widened her eyes and looked at the character in the phone incredulously. This. Ah! Tang Tang screamed in fear. Of course, fear was one thing, but there was also excitement in his voice. "I actually lost weight?" Did I turn back into my 16-year-old self? What was going on? Am I dreaming? However, that was clearly not the case. How could there be such a realistic dream? Furthermore, he had gone to the toilet for several hours. Since Tang Tang became fat, although she still looked very cheerful, she rarely went to the mirror, especially in her home. There was no mirror. After all, girls cared about their appearance. This morning, Tang Tang was in a daze. She hadn't eaten for days and went to the toilet for so long. Her stomach was already empty, so she didn't notice the changes in her body. But now she suddenly thought about it. What was it that she had excreted in the morning? Basically, it was excreting non-stop for 2 to 3 hours. How much waste was there? What is left? Her clothes might not have shrunk, but she had become thinner. That was also why it was easier for her to get on the bus. The perverted man looked at her lecherously, and it was also because she had turned into her previous self. Ah! Did I change back? Did he really change back? Tang Tang was so excited. In fact, she had always dreamed of changing back, but she thought it was impossible before. But suddenly it became a reality. Tang Tang felt so happy. Looking at Tang Tang's crazy look, Xiaofan was a little dumbfounded. The whole class was also a little dumbfounded. Teacher Chen smiled bitterly and thought, is this person a psychopath? AI, she is so beautiful. What a pity. You, cousin Tang Tang, what are you doing? Xiaofan looked at the happy Tang Tang and asked. Xiaofan, I'm Tang Tang. Tang Tang pointed to herself. You don't even know me? Did you forget that we went to the morning market to sell fried dough sticks every day? Did you forget that I was sick and you went to my house to take care of me? Did you forget that I have to introduce my cousin to you? I didn't forget, but... When Xiaofan said this, he was slightly surprised. Previously, he only noticed the appearance of the beautiful girl in front of him. At this moment, listening to her voice carefully, it seemed to be Tang Tang's. Others might not be able to judge it, but the 6 senses of a cultivator were quite sharp. This voice should be Tang Tang's. Xiaofan looked at Tang Tang carefully again. Although the person in front of him was much more beautiful, she still vaguely looked like Tang Tang. Are you really Tang Tang? Xiaofan asked with uncertainty. Of course. Tang Tang nodded. Why would I lie to you? Let me show you my ID card. As Tang Tang said this, she took out her ID card from her wallet and handed it to Xiaofan. This was her previous photo, but she rarely used her ID card in school. Otherwise, people would be surprised. Puff. Xiaofan glanced at Tang Tang's ID card and finally confirmed that the person in front of him was Tang Tang, but he didn't know why Tang Tang lost weight. Are you your cousin? N. Tang Tang nodded with some embarrassment. Xiaofan's heart jumped for no reason. If Tang Tang was her cousin, then what did Tang Tang's words mean that day? Even if Xiaofan was not very sensitive to emotional matters, he roughly understood Tang Tang's mind. As for why Tang Tang was so thin, Xiaofan thought that maybe it was because of his potion. Before, under Tang Tang's skin, wasn't it already swollen? It was estimated that it was the venom made of toxins. After the venom was discharged, Tang Tang naturally returned to her original appearance. Xiaofan really didn't expect that his potion could also have the effect of losing weight. However, he was afraid that this was only applicable to Tang Tang. If it were other fat people who didn't become fat because of poison, it would be impossible to solve the problem. Well, Tang Tang, you scared me to death. Xiaofan breathed a sigh of relief and nodded. Then he said, Teacher Chen, this person is Tang Tang. I have confirmed that she was sick before and lost weight. She used to look like this. If you don't believe me, you can look at her ID card photo. Oh. Teacher Chen was also very surprised after listening. She came over and looked at Tang Tang's ID card. Sure enough, she confirmed that this person was really Tang Tang. She suddenly felt a little embarrassed. I'm sorry, Tang Tang. I thought you were a fake. It doesn't matter. I was shocked myself. Tang Tang shook her head with a smile and sat next to Xiao Chen. This time, the students in the class began to be shocked. Is this person really Tang Tang? Oh my god, Tang Tang is so beautiful. Although everyone heard that Tang Tang used to be very beautiful and was a campus belle, that was in junior high school. After the senior high school redivided the classes, few people knew Tang Tang. However, they still heard the legend, but it was just a legend. Now that they saw such a beautiful Tang Tang, they were dumbfounded. It turned out that the legend was true. These people were a little regretful. Why didn't they pursue Tang Tang earlier? Alas, it was said that every fat person was a potential stock. This was not wrong at all. Although Tang Tang was a fat woman, she was also a fat person. Thinking about it, if Tang Tang was not beautiful before, would Yu Xiaochuan like Tang Tang? What was Yu Xiaochuan's identity? It was really too late to regret. Now, it seemed that the person who had the best relationship with Tang Tang was Xiao Chen. Perhaps Xiao Chen would be the first to get the benefits. At this moment, Zheng Xiaokuan also turned around and looked at Tang Tang in disbelief. He had always liked Tang Tang, and at this moment, he was even more shocked. However, he also knew that the distance between him and Tang Tang was getting farther and farther. Now, not to mention him, even Xiao Chen might not be able to catch up with Tang Tang. It was not that Tang Tang would change, but Yu Xiaochuan. Zheng Xiaokuan looked further. The engagement between Tang Tang and Yu Xiaochuan had not been officially dissolved. In the end, if Yu Xiaochuan went back on his word, then he and Xiao Chen would have no chance. After all, Yu Xiaochuan was the real fiancé of Tang Tang. Well, don't be surprised. Tang Tang just lost a little weight. Let's start the class. Although Teacher Chen was also shocked about Tang Tang, the main task at the moment was to teach the class. She did not want to delay the teaching because of this matter. Then, the students gathered their thoughts and prepared for the class. The thin monkey-like guy curled his lips with some regret. Young Master Ming, it's really a pity. Xiao Chen got lucky. Do you think Yu Xiaochuan is a decoration? Maybe Yu Xiaochuan will take it back. Lu Zhenming shook his head. I just don't know if Xiao Chen has used it. It will be fun if he gives Yu Xiaochuan a second-hand one. Ha ha ha, it's true. Yu Xiaochuan is not a good guy. Last time, he cheated young Master Ming. The thin monkey-like guy said. Forget it. It's not his fault for the broken bowl. Lu Zhenming said, damn it. What I'm most worried about is that Tang Tang has been taken away. What if Xiao Chen goes back to chase Cheng Menjing? Then my chance will be small. Isn't there still Jean Beibei? The thin monkey-like guy said, isn't Jean Beibei on good terms with Xiao Chen? Chapter 256. Who knows? Lu Zhenming nodded. Let's hope that he will continue chasing after Jean Beibei. Don't get any ideas about Cheng Menjing. Otherwise, he will be stealing what he is guarding. Only if Cheng Menjing dumps him. The slim monkey-like man, however, said in disdain, he is just an insignificant servant, a bullsh *t. How could Miss Cheng like him? It's absolutely impossible. You do have a point. Xiao Chen was her fiancé before. Nothing happened between them, and there were no sparks between them. It is even more unlikely that Xiao Chen became a servant. Thinking of that, Lu Zhenming was relieved. On the other side, Xiao Chen asked in confusion, Tang Tang, did you go to the toilet for hours this morning? Yes. How did you know? Tang Tang asked, somewhat embarrassed. Because I gave you a detoxification pill before. Xiaochen knew that even if Tang Tang did not ask now, she would certainly ask after she thought it through. Yu Xiaochuan might not necessarily keep such a thing a secret. Therefore, Xiaochen simply told her in case Tang Tang grew suspicious later. Huh? A detoxification pill? Tang Tang was dazed. What happened to me? You fainted on your way to school. As he spoke, Xiaochen told her about how Tang Tang fainted and was sent to the hospital for examination. Then he said, as it happens, I have a detoxification pill that my father left for me. I was reluctant to take it, so I gave it to you. I didn't expect that it would really work. Huh? You gave me such a precious thing to eat? Isn't it for you to train your internal force? Tang Tang was touched and somewhat regretful. You gave it to me, but what about yourself? I'll figure out another way. After all, I may not be able to train my internal force even if I take it. Xiaochen smiled casually. As long as you are fine. It seems that all the toxins in your body have been expelled. Yes, I feel so refreshed. No wonder I seemed to be in a daze before. It turned out that I was in a coma for 3 days. Tang Tang said, thank you so much. There's no need to thank me. We're brothers. Xiaochen suddenly realized that when he said the word buddy, he felt a little uncomfortable. Was it just a buddy? Xiaochen admitted that he didn't want to be a buddy anymore. Yeah, haha, then I won't stand on ceremony. Tang Tang laughed. By the way, now that you've returned to your previous appearance, are you going back to the Tang family? In fact, that was what Xiaochen was most reluctant to part with. If Tang Tang recovered, how could the Tang family remain indifferent? In the past, the Tang family thought that Tang Tang was a disgrace to the family. She was laughed at, broken off the engagement, and abandoned. But now? Such a beautiful lady, even if she didn't marry into the Yu clan, she could still marry into other aristocratic families in exchange for a lot of benefits and resources. Would the Tang clan let her go? Xiaochen didn't think so. I'm not going back. Tang Tang said, I'm living a good life now. Why should I go back? I don't care about those vanity things. Xiaochen smiled, but he didn't say that sometimes, it was not up to him to decide whether to go back or not. Just like when they were driven out of the family, it was not up to them to decide. But Xiaochen didn't want to say that to hurt Tang Tang. After all, Tang Tang was in a good mood. If he said that, she might not be happy to return to her previous appearance. In fact, in the class, Miss Tang was the most troubled one. Jean Beibei said to Qing Menjing, cousin, bad news. Cousin-in-law is in danger this time. He's going to be taken away. What will he be taken away from? Qing Menjing wrinkled her nose and snorted. Jean Beibei said with a strong sense of crisis, Tang Tang. Tang Tang has become prettier. She's as pretty as you, cousin. Besides, she's obviously interested in cousin-in-law. It's only a matter of time before cousin-in-law is taken away. He likes Shen Jingxian, doesn't he? Isn't Tang Tang his buddy? Although Qing Menjing said that, she had to admit that Tang Tang's chances had increased. But what did that have to do with her? Xiaochen wasn't her fiancé. It had nothing to do with her who he was with. He could be with whoever he wanted. Alas, how can there be so many buddies? I'm his sister-in-law. What's going to happen has to happen. Jean Beibei said. Ahem, why are you meddling? Qing Menjing glared at Jean Beibei. Then what do you think we should do? I'm not afraid of anything. I'm just worried that his relationship with Tang Tang will affect his job as a servant. Hee, weren't you trying to please me in the beginning? I'm going to stop you from dating. I'm going to stir up everyone I see. I'm going to show you who's the real fiancé and who's the real lady. That's right. It's definitely going to affect him. Jean Beibei nodded. So. Cousin Menjiang, you have to show your charm, too. For example, play some SM games with cousin-in-law so that he'll be able to stay. Pooh. Get lost. Cheng Menjiang said angrily. It was all meaningless tricks. What Beibei said is the truth. If it weren't for the fact that Beibei doesn't know how to play, I would have played with him too. As long as it's for cousin Menjiang's happiness, I'm willing to sacrifice myself to pave the way. Jean Beibei said pitifully. Are you doing this for me or for yourself? I don't need him. I don't want him even though he's my fiancé, much less a lowly servant. Cheng Menjiang said. Fine. Jean Beibei said, if you don't work hard when you're young, you'll only be sad when you're old. What nonsense are you talking about? Uneducated people are terrible. Cheng Menjiang kicked Jean Beibei. Yu Xiaochuan had no idea that his fiancée had gone through drastic changes yet. Right now, he was waiting for the result from Red Hair in excitement at home. In fact, Red Hair was anxious, too. This was the first thing that he had done for Yu Xiaochuan. If he could do it well, there would be a lot of benefits in the future. By then, he would be able to eat, drink, and have sex. A technician ran over excitedly with the test report and shouted at Red Hair, Brother F***CK. Brother F***CK. I've got the result. It was no wonder that he was so excited. Red Hair had said that whoever had the test result would be rewarded with 10,000 yuan. Although there were a lot of people doing the test, they all wanted to do more tests in order to make money. Therefore, the speed of the test was naturally higher. The technician was lucky enough to find a blood sample that matched the data that Red Hair required. Oh. Let me take a look. Red Hair was immediately overjoyed. He didn't expect that there would be a blood sample that matched the requirement in the first batch of contestants. This was really a great thing. Okay. Here it is. This is the test report of that contestant. The technician handed the report in his hand to Red Hair. You did a good job. Go to my place to get the 10,000 yuan reward later. Red Hair nodded with satisfaction. He took the test report and couldn't help but be stunned. Hey! Why is it her? Brother F***CK, what's wrong? Seeing Red Hair's sudden expression, the technician thought that there was something wrong with his report and that it didn't meet the requirement. He suddenly felt a chill in his heart. Don't waste 10,000 yuan. It's okay. You can go ahead with your work. Red Hair waved his hand and said. The test must continue, but they could just pretend and end it hastily. They didn't need to do the test seriously. Therefore, Red Hair found his subordinate and told him to pass the message. He had to pretend. After all, if he stopped now, people would definitely be suspicious. Besides, Yu Xiaochuan didn't need the test fee. Kerlin, it's actually Kerlin. Red Hair looked at the report in his hand and was a little shocked. How could it be her? To be honest, this person gave Red Hair a headache. This was Xiao Chen's girl. If he touched her, he might attract trouble from Xiao Chen. Xiao Chen was fine, but the key was that his underlings were all lunatics. One was Zhu Yingxiong and the other was Chen Jinpeng. One of them killed Lu Jianbiao, and the other robbed the Sun clan's medicinal herbs. Red Hair wasn't their match at all. If he provoked them and they came to take revenge, what would he do? But thinking about it, his current backing was Yu Xiaochuan. Who was Yu Xiaochuan? He was the Yu clan's young master and also the leader of the younger generation. Such an existence wasn't something that Chen Jinpeng and Zhu Yingxiong could compare to. Thinking about this, Red Hair calmed down and dialed Yu Xiaochuan's number. Red Hair, how is it? Any results? Yu Xiaochuan picked up the phone and asked anxiously. Yes. I found one. The blood sample's parameters meet the requirements. Red Hair hesitated for a moment. He didn't say the relationship between Kerlin and Xiaochen. He planned to say it in person. He couldn't explain it clearly over the phone, and there were many people nearby. Oh? Found it? That's great. After Xiaochuan heard it, he jumped 3 feet high and laughed, "Wahahaha, the heavens are helping me. When will you bring her to see me?" "Young Master Kun, this can't be rushed. I have to talk to her first and then prepare to see if she's willing to be first and if she's willing to sleep with you." Red Hair said. "That's fine. Threaten and bribe her. If that doesn't work, use force." Xiaochuan couldn't wait that long. Anyway, he was just looking for a tool to cultivate the chrysanthemum treasure book. He wasn't looking for a wife. He could do whatever he wanted. Force was fine too. Understood. Red Hair was overjoyed. It seemed like young Master Kun just wanted to play around or achieve some kind of goal. That would be easy. Otherwise, persuading Kerlin would be a difficult task. Very quickly, the test was over. There weren't any tests after that. It was just a blood test. Following that, Red Hair announced, "All right, everyone wait for the news. Our committee will conduct a comprehensive evaluation of everyone's information. In a while, we will announce the first, second, and third prizes. Kerlin, you have a lot of hope." Red Hair was just hinting. Today, Red Hair had dressed up like a dog. His hair wasn't red but dyed back to black. He even wore a pair of glasses. He looked like an artistic person. Chapter 257. Although Lin Kurer felt that this redhead was somewhat familiar, she did not think too much about it. From the start, it was impossible for her to associate a street thug with the person in charge of the competition. The two were completely unrelated. If Redhead had the ability, he would have quit being a thug long ago and gone to extort a few $100s. However, Red Hair's words made Kerlin very excited. Was it possible for her? Did that mean that she could get an annual salary of $1 million by shooting a few commercials? If she only took back 100 or 300,000 yuan, it could only improve the life of the Lin family, but it couldn't change too much. At most, she could pay for her college tuition and living expenses, but the family still had to continue their hard work of selling noodles. However, if she got first place and got an endorsement contract with an annual salary of $1 million, then her parents could go back and rest. They wouldn't have to work so hard anymore. In the future, her tuition and living expenses would be paid. Thinking up to this point, Lin Kur's breathing became hurried. This reaction was seen by Red Fur. He had purposely said those words just now to see Lin Kur's reaction. He wanted to see how much Lin Kur looked forward to first place. But from the looks of it, Kerlin should be looking forward to it. Thinking about how her family was short of money, her father was disabled, and her mother worked hard selling noodles every day, she should be able to agree to young Master Kun's request, right? Thinking of this, Red Hair's heart was at ease. The so-called judging was nothing more than stalling for time. If they were chosen all at once, it would be too fake. They had to drag it out for a few hours. Of course, it was up to Red Hair to decide who would be first, second, and third place. However, Red Hair didn't want to give them away so easily. There were a lot of beauties who came to the show. Although some of them looked very coquettish, Red Hair didn't care. He liked to play like this. He had decided that the second and third place would belong to whoever asked him to do the unspoken rules. Hence, when he left, he continued to hint, "I'll go back to the opposite hotel, room 1818, to rest for a while. The judging will begin in the afternoon." With that said, Red Hair left. He left these contestants with his back view. 1818 was the hotel's top-notch presidential suite. It was also a very auspicious homonym. Red Hair used his official position for personal gain and enjoyed top-notch treatment. Of course, it was also to spend a pleasant afternoon and night with second and third rank. Whoever came first would be second place. Those who lined up later would only be third place. As for those who came later, there was no one who came later. Red Hair laid comfortably on the hotel's top-notch round bed. Not long after, there was a knock on the door. Red Hair jumped off the bed with a whoosh and went to open the door happily. "Who is it?" "Waiter." The person outside said. F***CK. Red Hair was stunned. He opened the door unhappily and said impatiently, "What's the matter?" "Hair. Brother Lou, I'm sorry, in order to let you open the door, I had to pretend to be a waiter." A cute girl with a sweet appearance looked at Redhead with her big sparkling eyes. Her eyes seemed to be electrifying. Coupled with her coquettish voice, Redhead's bones immediately softened. "Ah, you are?" Red Hair's lower body suddenly reacted. "I'm Xiaosu. I'm a contestant for the spokesperson competition. I heard that the first place has been decided internally. My heart hurts. Am I any worse than that Lin something?" As he spoke, Xiaosu's entire body fell onto Redhead's body. Redhead almost pushed her down because of the surging waves. "Cough, cough. Come in and talk." Red Hair let little Sue in and closed the door. Xiaosu was even more daring this time. He squatted down and started to take off Redhead's pants. "Oh, slow down." Red Hair couldn't help but yell. It had to be said that Xiaosu's martial arts were top-notch. Red Hair had seen countless women. Although he had not met any of the best ones, compared to those he had met before, this Xiaosu was quite amazing. "Brother Lou. How is it? Can I get first place?" Xiaosu leaned on Redhead's body and asked sweetly. "First place? That's already decided. Why don't I give you second place?" The red-haired guy was so excited, but he knew that he couldn't delay Yu Xiaochuan's business. If he really made Xiaosu first place, then Yu Xiaochuan would kill him. "No way. Brother Lou, where am I bad? It's here, here, and here." As he said that, Xiaosu took Redhead's hand and started to touch his body. This made Redhead feel refreshed again. That Kerlin is already decided. It's not easy to change it. There's an inside story here. Redhead said helplessly. It must be that Brother Lou thinks that the little B***tch is good, but I'm not bad either. Xiaosu was anxious. He started to use all his skills to serve Redhead. Redhead was on cloud 9, and Xiaosu was still begging, "Brother Lou, just let me be first place." Sigh, "Okay. How about this, I promise to give you a chance. I'll get someone to do a blood test later." Redhead thought for a while and said helplessly. He was really defeated. "Okay, but why do we still need to do a blood test? Didn't we just do it? I don't have those dirty diseases." Xiaosu said. "Actually, first place is a cover. This time, my boss asked me to do it. The purpose is to find a blood type. I think it's for blood transfusion. But it needs to be kept a secret, so I organized this event to cover it up." Redhead didn't hide anything and said what he could. Anyway, Xiaosu was at least second place. She knew how she got second place, so she didn't dare to spread it. Hence, Redhead didn't need to hide anything. "First place, that Kerlin is suitable. I'm going to give her to my boss tonight. To be honest, I didn't even touch her. If my boss dotes on her tonight, she'll be my sister-in-law in the future." "Aya, she'll be your sister-in-law. Can you still do that?" Xiaosu winked at Redhead. "Okay, I'll get someone to come over." Redhead nodded. He was tempted. Then the blood tests after that were fake? Xiaosu wasn't stupid. He immediately thought of the key point. That's right. After Kerlin's results came out, the rest were all perfunctory. Redhead said, but to make you give up, I'll give you another chance. N. If you can't do it, second place is fine too. Hearing that there was an inside story, Xiaosu also knew that this couldn't be achieved by hard work alone. It depended on luck. Red Hair immediately gave a call to the laboratory technician who had examined Lin Kuo in the morning. This laboratory technician had received a 10,000 yuan reward. Naturally, after receiving the news, he very quickly came to Red Hair's room and also brought along the testing equipment and reagents. "Brother Lu, I'm here," the lab worker said flatteringly. Give her a test to see if her blood is up to standard." Red Hair nodded and pointed at Xiaosu. "Okay." The lab worker quickly drew Xiaosu's blood and tested it. However, not long after, the lab worker's face showed a shocked expression. "What's wrong? Is there something wrong?" Redhead saw the lab worker's expression and asked. The technician raised his head and looked at Xiaosu, then at Redhead, and then at the messy results on the bed. His face showed a look of disbelief, and then he said, "Brother Lu, this person's blood index is even higher than the previous person. According to the standard, this person is the most suitable." "Oh? Is that true?" Redhead was stunned. He didn't expect Xiaosu to get it right by a fluke. His index was actually higher than Kurlin's? This really shocked Redhead. "It's true. It's here. Brother Lu, you can take a look yourself." The lab worker pointed at the report in his hand and said. "As expected." Redhead nodded. He didn't know other medical things, but he specifically learned how to determine the index of a blood test. The goal was to do things well for Yu Xiaochuan. Xiaosu was also very surprised. She didn't expect herself to meet the criteria. Actually, when Redhead said he wanted to do a blood test, she was about to give up. Who knew that she really met the requirements? "Brother Lu, if there's nothing else, I'll leave?" the lab worker asked. "I'll give you 1,000 yuan for your hard work later." Redhead nodded. "Thank you, Brother Lu." The lab worker was overjoyed. He didn't expect to get 1,000 yuan for a trip. He thought he would work for free this time. After all, he already got 10,000 yuan previously. After the lab worker left, Xiaosu pestered Redhead again. "Brother Lu, this time, I can get first place, right?" Let me think. Redhead was thinking about how to tell Yu Xiaochuan. "Aya, what are you thinking about?" "I'm following your boss. I won't forget you," Xiaosu said and buried his head again. "Didn't I already meet the requirements?" Okay. Redhead felt refreshed and nodded immediately, hence, half an hour later, Redhead called Yu Xiaochuan. "Redhead, how is it?" Yu Xiaochuan asked. "Xiaochuan, there's an accident," Redhead said. "Accident? What do you mean?" Yu Xiaochuan asked. "It's like this. According to the inspection, there's another contestant who meets the blood requirement," Redhead said. "Oh? There's another one. That's great. Just right. Get me these two people. It's fine if they're tied for first place. The prize will be 1 million plus 300,000 yuan. The two of them will split it half." Yu Xiaochuan was overjoyed. He couldn't find them if he didn't look for them. When he did, good things came in pairs. Two at once. Because Xiaosu was closer to Redhead, Xiaosu heard everything Yu Xiaochuan said on the phone clearly. Chapter 258. When Xiaosu heard that the first prize would be split in half, she was a little anxious. She didn't want another person to compete with her for attention. Moreover, the money had to be split in half, so she quickly pinched Red Hair. "Ah!" Red Hair screamed. "Red Hair, what's wrong?" Yu Xiaochuan was stunned and asked. No, young Master Kun, I just want to say, why don't we just forget about Kurlin? Red Hair said. Forget about it? Why? Yu Xiaochuan was a little puzzled. I actually know Kurlin before. After thinking about it, I think it's better not to touch Kurlin. Red Hair said. Don't touch Kurlin. Is she your friend? Yu Xiaochuan asked. No, she is Xiao Chen's woman. Xiao Chen, he. Red Hair was about to say that Xiao Chen was nothing, but Xiao Chen's underling was very powerful, and he couldn't be provoked, but Yu Xiaochuan spoke first. What? Xiao Chen's woman? Forget it, then let her get the second prize. Yu Xiaochuan said directly. He didn't want to offend Xiao Chen now. Xiao Chen still had to help him deal with Tang Tang. If he offended Xiao Chen, then it would be bad. If there was no substitute, then Yu Xiaochuan would accept it for the sake of cultivating the chrysanthemum book. If he touched Kurlin, then so be it. But now that there was another choice, why would he touch Kurlin? Wasn't there something wrong with that? Okay. Red Hair didn't expect Yu Xiaochuan to be so afraid of Xiao Chen. When he heard Xiao Chen's woman, he directly gave up, but he still said, It's okay, young Master Kun. The second contestant's performance is better than Kurlin's. Really? That's great. Have you talked to her? Is she willing to have the unspoken rules? Yu Xiaochuan asked. Young Master Kun, Brother Lu has already talked to her. She is on standby here, waiting for young Master Kun to have sex with her. Xiao Su said sweetly. Oh. Ha ha ha, that's great. Red Hair, send her over immediately. Yu Xiaochuan immediately instructed Red Hair with the attitude of not delaying matters. Alright, young Master Kun, I'll be right there. Red Hair nodded his head hurriedly, but he was a little reluctant in his heart. One of his hands was pinching Xiaosu's body. After hanging up the phone, Xiaosu gave Red Hair a shove. You idiot, he's already been promoted, how can he forget about you? Don't worry, since you're so powerful, they'll definitely come looking for you often. That's good, huh? Red Hair laughed and said, let's do it again, and I'll send you off. Of course there's no problem. Xiaosu started again. Yu Xiaochuan was overjoyed. He danced with joy at home. Yu Buchuan has appeared out of nowhere and will unite the pugilistic world for thousands of years. However, not long after, Yu Xiaochuan's phone rang. Hello? Yu Xiaochuan picked up the phone. Young Master Kun, I'm Little Mo. This Xiao Mo was one of Yu Xiaochuan's underlings in school. He was also a child of a mid-level family, but he was not qualified to be one of the 9 great clans. Oh? Little Mo, what's the matter? Yu Xiaochuan asked. Young Master Kun, your fiancé has changed. Little Mo said. Changed? What fiancé? Yu Xiaochuan was stunned. The news that he planned to be engaged to the woman from another province hadn't spread yet, and the matter hadn't been finalized yet. Logically speaking, Little Mo shouldn't know. Tang Tang has changed. Little Mo said quickly. Tang Tang? Changed? What changed? When he heard that it was Tang Tang, Yu Xiaochuan lost interest. Her life and death had nothing to do with him. She became beautiful. Little Mo said, she became very beautiful, almost as beautiful as the campus belle, Chengmenjiang. Became beautiful? Almost as beautiful as Chengmenjiang? What's with your eyes? Yu Xiaochuan was a little stunned. How is this possible? It's true. She really became beautiful, almost as beautiful as when she was 16 years old. Little Mo said, young Master Kun, now the school is in a sensation. Almost as beautiful as when she was 16 years old? Yu Xiaochuan suddenly opened his mouth. Yu Xiaochuan naturally knew what Tang Tang looked like when she was 16 years old. It couldn't be said that she was more beautiful than Cheng Menjiang, but she wasn't inferior either. Otherwise, how could Yu Xiaochuan, a leader of the younger generation, fancy Tang Tang? Now, listening to little Mo said that Tang Tang changed back, Yu Xiaochuan was a little shocked. Little Mo, are you kidding me? This joke is not funny at all, and today is not April Fool's Day. Young Master Kun, how would I dare to lie to you? Little Mo smiled bitterly. I will send you a picture, and you will know. Oh. Okay. Yu Xiaochuan nodded. He waited for a moment, and his phone received a picture. Yu Xiaochuan clicked on it and suddenly widened his eyes. Isn't this Tang Tang? To be exact, it was the old Tang Tang. However, the old Tang Tang was wearing the loose school uniform of the second high school, appearing on the school playground, and looking at the school background. It should have been taken just now. Did Tang Tang really change back? Yu Xiaochuan took a deep breath. He couldn't believe it, but the picture was right in front of him. He decided to go back to school and verify it himself, to see if it was true. See, young Master Kun, I heard that Tang Tang became like this after a serious illness. Little Mo said. Okay, I will go to school now. Yu Xiaochuan said quickly. He was thinking, if Tang Tang really changed back, is there still a need for me to break off the engagement? In Yu Xiaochuan's opinion, what he pursued was nothing more than strength, power, and beauty. Strength, when he practiced the chrysanthemum treasure book, then he would have it, and by then, it would be possible for him to become the world's #1. Power, his first goal was to become the leader of the younger generation of the 9 aristocratic families. In the future, he would lead the Yu family to become the leader of the 9 aristocratic families, like the Cheng family, and then his next goal would be to become a giant family like the Shen family. Beauty, in Yu Xiaochuan's opinion, it was possible to increase the family's strength by marriage, but the marriage partner must be a beauty. He was a picky person. When Tang Tang became ugly, he would rather break off with the Tang family than marry her. But now, Tang Tang changed back. Yu Xiaochuan was a little tempted. In the past, he was very obsessed with Tang Tang. Tang Tang was his first love. Before Tang Tang, he had never really liked any girl. Although after Tang Tang, he had played with many women, but in his heart, he still had the impression of Tang Tang. He regretted not having the chance to push Tang Tang down, and the current Tang Tang made him no longer interested. However, Tang Tang changed back, and Yu Xiaochuan's heart was a little fanatical. Another key point was that he was not the only one who had the chrysanthemum treasure book. Old Master Tang, Tang Fangbai also had it. At that time, if the two of them were to stand on the opposite side, it would not be fun. Both of them were unparalleled, and in the end, both of them would be defeated. Therefore, Yu Xiaochuan had the possibility of turning back to her. Thinking of this, Yu Xiaochuan decided to go back and take a look. If Tang Tang really changed, then he would take her down no matter what. He hoped that Xiao Chen wouldn't make a move so early. If he had already pushed Tang Tang down, then Yu Xiaochuan would regret it. All the way to Ning's second middle school, Yu Xiaochuan parked the car and saw that Qi Zhigao was driving Xiao Xiao to lunch, so he said, "Hello, Zhigao, are you going out for lunch?" "Oh, yeah, young Master Kun." Although Qi Zhigao's address for Yu Xiaochuan didn't change, he was a little impatient in his heart. "Okay, then you go." Yu Xiaochuan was just casually greeting. He was concerned about Tang Tang's affairs, and he was too lazy to talk nonsense with this little brother. Qi Zhigao nodded and got in the car with Xiao Xiao. He cursed in his heart, "Damn," as if nothing happened. "Where's the compensation for my car? Why is there no sign of him?" "Xiao Xiao, what do you want to eat?" Qi Zhigao asked attentively. "Anything." Xiao Xiao's mood wasn't very good these days. She heard that the Cheng family wanted to unite with her family through marriage. The marriage partner was definitely not her elder brother. Now, she was the only one left. However, Xiao Xiao didn't like Cheng Mengqiang, so she was very annoyed. Xiao, what's wrong with you? Why are you unhappy? Who provoked you? I will help you beat him. Qi Zhigao patted his chest and said. Beat him, beat him, beat him. You only know how to beat him. What else can you do besides this? Xiao glared at Qi Zhigao. The Cheng family came to my house to propose marriage. You beat him? Ugh. Cheng family? Qi Zhigao was stunned. He went to your house. Is it about your elder brother? Did they go back on their word? This was Qi Zhigao's first thought. That was, the Cheng family knew how powerful Xiao Chen was through Cheng Menjiang, so they wanted to go back on their word. Or, the Cheng family knew that it was just an act before. What? It's about me. It seems that Cheng Menjiang likes me, so he asked his grandfather to come to my house to propose marriage. Xiao said. What should I do? Don't agree with him. Qi Zhigao was shocked and said quickly. Don't agree. Don't agree. Aren't you powerful? Why don't you beat him up? Xiao snorted. Qi Zhigao, if you are a man and really capable, let the Qi family come to my house to propose marriage. Otherwise, don't come to me in the future. Okay, I'm getting off. Don't bother me. Qi Zhigao saw Xiao opened the door and got off the car. He suddenly clenched his fists and slammed the steering wheel. Didn't he tell the Qi family about his own matters? But he was a person valued by the Qi family. His engagement wasn't up to him. Previously, when he was close to Xiao, the Xiao family still held an approving attitude. After all, he and Xiao were childhood sweethearts and grew up together. The Xiao family used to be one of the 4 major aristocratic families. Xiaofan was the most likely person to break through that realm among the younger generation. If he broke through that realm and was chosen by one of those people, his future would be limitless. That was also the most glorious time of the Xiao family. Even if there was a prodigal wastrel like Xiao Chen, the Xiao family was still the target of flattery. If the Qi family wanted to gain a foothold in Songning City, they must unite with an aristocratic family, and the Xiao family was the best candidate. Chapter 259. However, with the disappearance of Xiaofan, Xiao Chen was a good-for-nothing. Even if he wasn't kicked out of the Xiao family would be in a state of decline. It would be impossible for the Qi family to take a fancy to such a declining family. Therefore, the Qi family had ordered Qi Zhigao not to have any contact with Xiao, which made Qi Zhigao miserable. Thinking of Xiao's words, Qi Zhigao felt like a knife was being twisted in his heart. Qi Zhigao picked up his phone and dialed his grandfather's number. In the Qi family, only his grandfather's words carried enormous weight. Although his father was the acting head of the family, he still needed his grandfather to make decisions on important matters. Zhigao, what's the matter? Old Master Qi answered the phone quickly. Qi Zhigao was his favorite grandson, so every time he answered the phone, his voice was very kind. Grandpa, I've thought about it for a long time. I still like Xiao. I want to be with her. I can't live without her in this life. Qi Zhigao said what was in his heart. The haze in his heart finally broke out. Oh. Old Master Qi was silent. Although Old Master Qi didn't oppose Qi Zhigao's father's decision to keep Qi Zhigao away from Xiao, Qi Zhigao grew up with Old Master Qi. Old Master Qi knew Qi Zhigao's character very well. Once he had decided on something, not even 10 bulls could pull him back. No matter what you said, it was useless. Only by changing his own mind could he change it. But now it seemed that his mind hadn't changed. Grandpa, I want to be with Xiao. Qi Zhigao said firmly. The Xiao family's current situation is like a declining sun. Anyone with a discerning eye can see that. Old Master Qi said, I have some friendship with Xiao Yuanshan, but friendship is friendship, and the family's interest is family's interest. My friendship with him is far from enough for me to take the family's interest to help him. Moreover, our Qi family is in another city. Firstly, it's out of our reach. Secondly, there's no third generation in the Xiao family, which means there's no future. It's useless to help him. The decline of the Xiao family is already a foregone conclusion. Xiao family. Qi Zhigao wanted to say, Grandpa, you're so wise. Can't you see the problem? The Xiao family has declined? What a joke. Look at him in another year. Look at Songning City, whose Songning City is. However, he had promised Xiao Chen to keep it a secret for him. Qi Zhigao was such a person. He wouldn't say what he had promised even if you beat him to death. Grandpa, I still insist on my opinion. Qi Zhigao said. Then, have you ever thought that if this is the case, you will have no fate with the position of successor to the young patriarch? The Xiao family won't be able to help you in the future. As for your cousin, Ziyuan, he has a good relationship with Chen Xiaojiao of the Chen family recently. The Chen family is on the rise. Both of you will be 16 years old soon. The position of the young master will be selected at this time. You'd better think about it carefully. That slut of the Chen family? Qi Zhigao felt disgusted. He had heard that Chen Jinpeng's sister, Chen Xiaojiao, was a woman who had sex with thousands of men. She had also slept with her brother. It was rumored that she had slept with 2 of Chen Jinpeng's bosses. Now, it seemed that she had slept with Chao Yuliang. But Xiao Chen. Would Xiao Chen's brother like her? Ziyuan knows that he is not as good as you. I don't like him as much as I like you, but he can find a way to make up for it. He is a ruthless person. He could accept Chen Xiaojiao just to get promoted. But you can give up the position of the young patriarch for Xiao Xiao. Old Master Qi sighed and said helplessly. Qi Zhigao was thinking, if I didn't know about Xiao Chen, would I still be so determined? Maybe I would. However, Xiao Chen's matter made him more confident. There was no one in the Xiao family who was mediocre. Well, that's all I have to say. It's up to you to choose. Old Master Qi said, if you want to give up, there is nothing I can do. Grandpa, I have decided. Can you help me propose to the Xiao family? Qi Zhigao gritted his teeth and said. Yes, I will contact the Xiao family when there is a suitable opportunity. Old Master Qi said, your matter can't be rushed. According to the rules of the Qi family, the marriage can be confirmed after the young patriarch is confirmed. This way, the benefits can be maximized. Although I am the old patriarch, your father was also like this. Okay. Qi Zhigao was actually a little worried that the Cheng family would get married before him. However, the rules of his family were like this. He was very happy that his grandpa agreed to this step. He thought, can I ask Xiao Chen for help? After hanging up the phone, Old Master Qi sighed slightly. To be honest, he was also optimistic about the Xiao family in the past. However, the third generation of the Xiao family, Xiao Chen, was too weak. Xiao Chen was a rare genius in cultivation. Among all the girls in the aristocratic families, she was very powerful. However, her brother, Xiao Chen, was a loser. If he was not very sure that Xiao Chen was the biological son of the Xiao family, he would think that Xiao Chen was adopted. Otherwise, why would Xiao Xiao, who also had the blood of the Xiao family, be stronger than him? However, there was only one reason that Xiao Chen's blood had a problem. That was, it was related to his mother who had been missing since he was a child. It was a relatively taboo topic in the Xiao family. The Xiao family would not mention it to outsiders, and outsiders knew very little about it. To be honest, Old Master Qi was not very optimistic about Qi Ziyuan. The reason was that Qi Ziyuan was too cruel. In order to achieve his ambition, he would do anything. Chen Xiaojiao was such a bad girl, but he treated her like a treasure and planned to marry her to the Chen family. Old Master Qi was afraid that he would be too harsh to his brothers and sisters after he became the head of the family. However, Qi Zhigao's character was not very suitable to be the head of the family. He was too indecisive and emotional. Old Master Qi thought that if he could give up Xiao Xiao after careful consideration, he would pass the test. Although a head of the family should have feelings, when it came to the interests of the family, he had to give up personal interests. However, Qi Ziyuan was too ruthless. It would be great if the two could be combined. However, it was difficult to have both sides in the world. It all depended on Qi Zhigao and Qi Ziyuan's choice. During the lunch break, Yu Xiaochuan came to the classroom of grade 3-1, which was Tang Tang and Xiao Chen's classroom. When he saw Tang Tang, his eyes suddenly lit up. Little Mo didn't lie to him. Tang Tang had really returned to her old self. Motherf **Ker, this Xiao Chen was really lucky. Yu Xiaochuan was still hesitating whether he should go back to her before he saw Tang Tang in person. But when he saw Tang Tang, he suddenly made up his mind. Tang Tang, you're here. Let's go out for lunch. Yu Xiaochuan walked to Tang Tang elegantly and invited her like a gentleman. Pfft! Yu Xiaochuan, is there a hole in your brain? Are you going to treat me to lunch? Tang Tang was dazed. Or are you going to treat me and Xiao Chen? Of course I'm treating you. Why would I invite an unrelated person? Yu Xiaochuan didn't seem to hear the doubt and sarcasm in Tang Tang's words. He just said to himself, I'm your fiancé. Do I need a reason to treat my fiancé to lunch? You? Fiancé? Me? Fiancé? Tang Tang's eyes widened. I say, Yu Xiaochuan, can you not be funny? Did you take the wrong medicine today? Did you give me to Xiao Chen? What's wrong with you today? Xiao Chen sat on the side, but he wasn't surprised like Tang Tang. Instead, he was shocked. Is Yu Xiaochuan going back on his words because Tang Tang has become beautiful? It seems that this must be the case. This made Xiao Chen a little uncomfortable. This Yu Xiaochuan is really shameless. How can he say something like fiancé? He gave me money to push Tang Tang down before. Did he forget it in the blink of an eye? This is instant memory loss. Huh, isn't that a joke? How can you believe a joke? The engagement between us is still there, and it hasn't been cancelled. You are my fiancé. This is an unchangeable fact. Yu Xiaochuan said lightly. I say, Yu Xiaochuan, what do you mean? Didn't you give Tang Tang to me? I've already pushed her down, and you still want to go back. Xiao Chen couldn't help but speak at this time. Already, pushed? Yu Xiaochuan's face changed slightly. He looked at Tang Tang up and down with uncertainty. After a while, he said, Xiao Chen, you're lying to me, right? What do you think? Xiao Chen put his arm around Tang Tang's shoulder and held her in his arms. Tang Tang was a little shy, but she didn't struggle. Xiao Chen glanced at Yu Xiaochuan and said, I have to work hard for your money. By the way, when will my bonus be mine? Bonus? I'm joking. Yu Xiaochuan was so angry that his teeth itched. If Xiao Chen hugged the fat girl Tang Tang before, Yu Xiaochuan wouldn't be angry, but would be happy, but now. However, Yu Xiaochuan had seen many women and was a martial artist. Looking at Tang Tang's appearance, it didn't seem like she had been pushed, so he calmed down and said, Hee, I don't care about what happened before. I was joking. If you believe it, then it's not your fault. You can say that you are very stupid and naive. Now Tang Tang is going with me. Xiao Chen, you'd better not get involved. It's not good for you. Xiao Chen took a deep breath. He knew that in front of the two giants, the Tang family and the Yu family, he was insignificant. If the Tang family and the Yu family intended to reopen the marriage, then Xiao Chen couldn't do anything to stop them. At this moment, Xiaochen wanted to kill Yu Xiaochuan and let him go home immediately. However, Xiaochen finally held back. If he made a move at this moment and Yu Xiaochuan died on the horse, then it would be different from the Sun family. After all, the Sun family was just a small family. Before he replaced the Xia family, it could only be regarded as a small family. However, the Yu family was different. If Yu Xiaochuan, the heir of the Yu family, died, then the Yu family would probably investigate in detail. At that time, he would be the first suspect. You're tuning into the Xiaofan's Wuxia Tales YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.